James Franklin still has his supporters here in Happy Valley, but after an unthinkable loss last week, the public pressure has turned up on the head coach. Him and the Nittany Lions will try to ease some of that pain today against Northwestern. The Big Ten opener for Penn State. Ducks, Nittany Lions, rematch of last year's Big Ten championship game.
Allen throws, and it's intercepted, and Oregon's going to win it.
Miller keeping, he didn't get it, he didn't get it. Oh, man, they'll take a victory lap.
Was so close to elation, the dejection of the end of the Oregon game, and then the total letdown of last week against UCLA for James Franklin and the Nittany Lions. He did not change his routine today as they welcome in Northwestern, facing the crowd head on after a week full of talk nationally about what is Penn State and where are they going. We welcome you into Happy Valley. Mark Helfrich, Connor Onion. Let's start there with James Franklin and Penn State. You're uniquely qualified to talk about it. You've lived it. What's this going to be like for the head coach for Penn State?
Yeah, he's a son of Pennsylvania. He knows the passion of this fan base, and right now there's a lot of passion coming his way. And I think for him, and maybe even most importantly, the players, put on the earmuffs, put on the blinders, and just go. Focus on the task at hand.
Yeah, no doubt. And what was so hard to believe about last week was the defense for Penn State was the issue. A nationally elite defense turned into a bit of a sieve against UCLA.
Yeah, Tony Rojas out. It's going to be kind of a two-man effort, and their backups, Dom DeLuca, who those coaches call the best kid in the world. That's pretty good. Along with Amari Campbell, they have to kind of combine to be one Tony Rojas. Big cleats to fill.
A good place to start, you're right, is with the described best kid in the world from Jim Knowles and James Franklin. Yeah, captain, former walk-on. But Preston Stone, the quarterback for Northwestern, will try to get him in space today because Tony Rojas isn't in there, and that's a good place to begin for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Preston Stone, like most guys, he has a great soap opera name, good looks, great ability, and cool under pressure. When he plays cleanly, they've been excellent. It's a ball control, run first, play action type of offense. Just take care of the rock. And then this Penn State defense has been vulnerable to the run. Can he make that happen today?
Yeah, that's where it begins for Northwestern, trying to win their third straight. See if Preston Stone turns it into a melodramatic soap opera next. Well, the Wildcats are hot, winning 2 in a row. The Nittany Lions have lost 2 in a row. The late loss against Oregon in front of the whiteout crowd, and then the letdown last week on the road at UCLA has the Nittany Lions now fighting for their playoff life. Mark, they cannot lose another game if they want to go to the college football playoff.
No, they can't, and sometimes that's a freeing feeling when you can just cut it loose. This Penn State coaching staff, their players, this pregame warm-up felt, hey, this is it, cut it loose.
But David Braun was very positive about how his team is playing. Out of their bye week, they've turned in 2 wins, UCLA and then UL Monroe last week, and they go for a 3rd in a row.
Totally different vibe right amongst this Northwestern team. Total confidence, total belief, and ready to play spoiler today.
Well, it'll be Northwestern getting the ball first in front of a stripe-out crowd in Happy Valley as Wosu kicks it off. Here we go in the Big Ten from State College. And Preston Stone comes out for the first time. He was here with SMU in the college football playoff last year, but he was the backup. Now he's the guy in front of a packed house.
Yeah, backed up Kevin Jennings in the playoff game. He said it was really cold. I remember that. I remember the communication errors, issues that came up. I learned from that from being on the sideline, and that's, as you just said, come off the hot performance.
They need last week. Yeah, they need his best again, just like last week against a top 20 pass defense in the country in Penn State.
Tulane did not take care of the ball the last couple weeks. He has.
His top target down in the slot, Griffin Wilde. And it starts on the ground. The lead horse of this run-heavy Northwestern offense is Caleb Komolafe.
Take a look at this offensive line. Caleb Tiernan, The left tackle, 72, will match up today against one of the best pass rushers in the country. And this guy is an NFL type, body type, makeup. Skill guys, Caleb Komolafe has stepped in very, very well for the injured Cam Porter.
Cam Porter out for the year. He's been a mentor to Komolafe and the rest of those backs. And in his belly twice, and the downhill runner that is Komolafe makes it a 3rd down and 4.
Not a surprise run start here for Northwestern. Zane Durant, they said he was the most vocal guy, and everybody followed his lead after that UCLA, as you described earlier, debacle. Amari Campbell, Dom DeLuca at linebacker.
Penn State gashed on defense last week. Maybe the most surprising part about that game is how the defense played. They have a chance for a 3-and-out on their first trip on the field back home. Well, a little jumpy from Dennis Sutton down bottom side as a flag flies. Stone is cut down 2 yards short of the first down. We'll check on that flag at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, double hard count trying to deny Dennis Sutton to jump. Like maybe he and Fisher got back, and then I think he was in the neutral zone at the snap.
Offside. Defense number 33. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
He's down right here. Right here, you can see the 33 with the throwback helmets on. The flinch, double flinch. That's great way to negate his elite pass rushing ability. Slow him down, hard count, and run it right at him.
Saw that a bunch last week for Penn State. They were jumpy on the defensive line, and it gives Northwestern a free 1st down. And Dennis Sutton out of the game, and Stone to throw for the first time, and a diving catch. Well done by Hayden Elegon on 1st down for Northwestern.
They're going to come out and play man coverage here against Northwestern. Force Preston Stone to do that. Throw to tight windows. You can see right here, had enough time, great rhythm, great location with that ball, and great sticky fingers by Elegon.
Yeah, that looked pine tar-ish. The sticky fingers out there for Elegon. That's a budding connection, him and Preston Stone.
Used every inch of that 6'4" frame right there.
Yeah, good-looking guy, isn't he? 6'4", 210, Elegon with the opening reception off the hands of Stone, who throws again, and nobody's home. We're looking for Drew Wagner on a corner route, and it's 3rd down and 5.
That almost looked like he threw that away. Wasn't really comfortable with how that route was released. That was kind of a slot fade versus zone coverage. Safety over the top, and it's better to do that than try to force a back shoulder. Maybe it gets tipped and sets up still a 3rd and manageable situation.
So hard count worked for Stone.
Sutton in again.
Yep. He was the man that jumped. He's down bottom side in that same position. Wilde in the slot, that's his favorite target. On a 3rd and 5. Stone falling away. Fade ball is out of the reach of Drew Wagner. And coverage from King Mack, and it's 4th down.
This will be interesting. Preston Stone, I think he took a shot that previous play, and he's not 100% there on that throwaway. Kind of threw it away awkwardly right there. It was really, as you perfectly described, falling off the mound and missed long and outside.
56. Number 5 becomes 56 for Penn State.
Well, he was heavy on his back foot there as that ball went fluttering down the sideline. And back-to-back incompletions for the Northwestern quarterback have Luke Akers in the punt unit out. Oh, they come after him and they get there. 2nd straight week, Penn State has blocked a punt. It was denied Dennis Sutton a week ago, and he gets there again to make up for the penalty.
Yeah, denied Dennis Sutton to Clifford last week. Right here, the ball just spinning, went out of bounds. They end up with the rush. It's going to come off the right side. Here he is, a free rush. There's a lot of bad things are going to happen if Dennis Sutton has a free rush to anything. The punter sets him up in dream start for this Penn State offense and Drew Aller.
Mark, he blocked it with his hip.
He did. Oh.
So Drew Aller and the Penn State offense out for the first time, and the fans will be happy to see that. A carry for Katron Allen, who today will be their lead running back. It's not 1A, 1B today.
Yeah, this was interesting talk with Coach Franklin. James Franklin basically mandating to offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki, hey, it's going to be a 2-to-1 ratio at most, right? If not a little bit more, toward Kaytron Allen. Nick Singleton will be the spell, will be the package guy.
Kaytron Allen has been the more productive of those two backs, but has less carries on the year. And it started with him. Now in the air, and Aller complete, near a first down, a little bit short to Devontae Ross. It's third down.
Yeah, 3rd and 1, a little slant route. Drew Aller has the glove on. Just has to play clean, has to play catch. Again, an execution-based offense. They're going to have a chance to take shots. Northwestern kind of has to make a decision here. Are we going to play the slow bleed, what they did against Oregon, make them earn every inch?
Well, they get to the line quickly, and there is Kaytron Allen for the first down.
And they also have to stop the run, knowing Kaytron Allen is going to be running like a man possessed.
Well, it's up to this front for Penn State to carve out that space against the Northwestern front.
Absolutely. The Penn State offensive line, they're still figuring out that right side. Shanahan is going to start at right guard, Rucci at right tackle. Looks like Cooper Cousins is out. They're still experimenting.
Cousins officially out on the injury report from the Big Ten as they trade over some of those offensive linemen and toss it out to Allen. He stretches to the edge. He's got a lead block that escorts him out near another first down. Drew Shelton paving the way off left tackle.
Yeah, a little student body left here. Old school toss action. The shifts make this Northwestern defense communicate. Up front, Anto Saka, Aiden Hubbard, excellent. And Drew Aller's back in line.
He pumps and throws it into tight coverage. It's picked off. Ori Adeyi in the end zone for Northwestern. Early Boo Birds out in Happy Valley. Aller throws a pick. Northwestern takes over after this. Northwestern hadn't had an interception from a defensive back all season until this red zone trip.
So, yeah, Drew Aller starts. He's got Clifford against Adeyi one-on-one on that vertical ball, and it looks like kind of Liam Clifford doesn't really expect it. Drew Aller doesn't finish. He's not totally confident in that. You see that lean back again, the lean back miss. Not good anywhere, particularly in the red zone in tight quarters.
What led to that?
Just indecision. Indecision. He got out to him just a fraction late. Didn't believe in the throw. Got to have conviction.
So Adeyi's interception, and it's Hyman with a 1-yard gain on first down for Northwestern.
Northwestern is going to be battle for them all day long. Coach David Braun told us for offensive coordinator Zach Lujan, pound it, pound it, pound it. Keep this Penn State athletic offense off the field. Don't be surprised if they milk this play clock as much as possible and try to shorten the possessions.
They'd be fine with 3 or 4 possessions aside in the first
Absolutely.
half. They're out there off of the quick change on the Adeyi pick in the end zone. And it's Hyman that stays sidecar with Stone. And the quick twitched changeup back, showing some of his power as he carries the pile for an 8-yard pickup and a third down and short.
Really nice run. Joseph Hyman is the changeup to Caleb Komolafe, kind of the hammer. Watch his kind of starts to cut back and then repress it front side. He's bringing that backer to the left-hand side as you're playing it in the running back position. Great job at repressing it to the front side and losing an inexperienced linebacker.
That's where they want those backers in space against the fast guys. Hyman in that category with Tony Rojas out for Penn State. On a third down, it's 3 straight runs and Northwestern ahead with a first down. That was the formula when they beat UCLA, was run, run, run. 3 straight, move the chains.
Am I the one that has to say Erratikai first? Erratikai. Erratikai, Carcelo, Tiernan move in that left side. These guys have played really well together. The problems that they've had have been
just quarterback, right? Of kind of creating his own adversity, almost that first game, the turnover issues up front, they have been outstanding.
Led by Tiernan and Carcelo with Aratikai in between them. That left guard. He's the young guy up there on the left side. 3 straight runs, now a play fake, and for the first time, there's the guy that Penn State secondary is most worried about today, Griffin Wilde with the first down.
Nice little in cut. They brought pressure, so it's man coverage. You'll see Wilde down here at the bottom. Got a clear by the inside, the dig route. You see the safety triggering, knowing that Griffin Wilde loves this route. Really nice timing. A good pickup that time on the blitz by 5, Komalafe.
Wilde loves a lot of those in-breaking routes, doesn't he?
Yep, and Stone has a great feel for that. If he can do that, step into it, and finish his throw.
Well, Wilde with double the targets of any other Northwestern receiver. Stone looking his way again, instead underneath to his tight end, who is upended. Alex Lines with his first catch of the day.
Alex Lines, the New Mexico State transfer. Really nice job just presenting himself to Preston Stone. That's one of the hardest kind of shallow routes that seems like an easy completion, especially to a bigger target like that, and keeping him on the move. That was well done.
Harder than it looks on those shallow
absolutely,
crosses.
yep.
If you're a tight end, you like this game.
Yes.
A lot of usage on both
teams,
offenses.
yeah. You'll see 12 personnel, 13 personnel.
That's one tight end in there here. And a little throwback. It's fluttered to Hyman, who can roll, and he rolls for a first down. So getting him in space a priority. A couple of first downs on this drive for Joe Hyman.
Yep, offensive coordinator Zach Lujan, a little action to Drew Wagner. You'll see the motion come here. Hyman comes here off the play fake, the screen action. Again, you see Zariah Fisher upfield. Dani Dennis Sutton upfield, throwback screen, a great antidote.
That's where you want to see those guys if you're
Absolutely.
Northwestern, flying upfield with Hyman sneaking in behind him. Northwestern on the march after they got it back with the red zone turnover from Aller. And Hyman is swallowed up.
Yeah, it's a great job. As you said, swallowed up. They brought pressure. DeJuan Lane 10 was in the backfield. Multiple Penn State defenders, and he did a great job to gain 1.
Well, those are some of the plays for Penn State where they had maybe a 1 or 2 yard play against UCLA last week that turned into 5-6, and some easy third downs against this Penn State defense. And a heavy dose of Hyman. Flag is down right in the box there where things were real muddied up.
Yeah, a little unbalanced inside zone action. I think we got a hold on the backside here, or possibly illegal hands in the face.
Pointing at Penn State side.
Personal foul. Fast. Defense number 50. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down. 50 lost his helmet on the play. Let's leave the game for 1 down.
So the offending player that was doing the hands to the face / face mask, usually that is illegal hands to the face when it's a lineman to lineman situation, but he has to go out if the helmet of the player that was offended would have fallen off. He could stay in.
So Ford penalty leaves the game, and one of their best interior defenders out for a 1st and goal for Northwestern. Stone off of the hard count, looking single side, runs into trouble, and down he goes. Dennis Sutton in the area. Also some internal pressure from Zane Durant.
Dani Dennis Sutton is right here at the bottom of the screen. It's just a speed rush against Tiernan. Makes Preston Stone uncomfortable. Got a little combination, half sack each there for Dani Dennis Sutton and Zane Durant.
The untouched sack.
Yes.
Not even any wear on the tires for Durant and Dennis Sutton with the half sack. And then this will be stopped. Timeout, Penn State.
Northwestern.
Yeah. Coach David Braun ended up taking it.
So 10th play of the drive coming up. Preston Stone saying, my bad.
My bad.
We step aside. Red zone action coming up. Tomorrow, the ALCS begins on Fox as Cal Raleigh and the Mariners look to steal Game 1 in Toronto against the red-hot Blue Jays with Vladdy Jr. And the Jays, little extra rest. Game 1 of the ALCS coverage beginning tomorrow at 7 Eastern on Fox. The Mariners have to play a game tomorrow after playing 15 innings last night?
It is still playing today, yes.
Right. Look at that time of possession.
Yeah, that is a dream start here if you're Northwestern and head coach David Braun. You get the schemed punt block and then the gift turnover from Drew Aller, and then just go on this driving march. 2nd and goal. Take care of the rock, Preston Stone.
10th play of the drive for Northwestern, and Dennis Sutton goes crashing down on Deshaun Reeder. Their young running back coming off a career week was slammed down by the end.
It's not spelled D-E-N-Y, but he does this often in the backfield. This is one of those schemes where on the playbook, and it works against the scout team really well to just kick out that number 33, and then in real life, that is the result. Big time play, setting them back 3rd and goal.
And he said that play was D-U-N done.
Yes, yes. It's a Ball State spelling right there.
Right.
Yes.
Well, the Wildcats have scored 93% of the time in the red zone. Will it be a field goal or a touchdown?
Ball's out.
It looks like ball is out. Well, he got it back, though.
He got it.
Komolafe at the bottom of the pile is there. So Northwestern will try for 3 on a long drive to get him down there.
Yeah, safe call, smart call there by Zach Lujan, offensive coordinator. Don't take any risks. They were initially showing just a 3-man rush. They brought one linebacker to make it a conventional 4-man rush. Zone behind. Let's get the points.
A 37-yard try, or 32-yard try for Jack Olson. And it is good. So the 12-play drive for Northwestern off the Adai pick leads to the Olson field goal. 3-0 Cats on the road in Happy Valley. Here's today's Fan Cam, sponsored by Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work. It's also blood. Ooh.
Coke and a smile right now.
Oh, Mean Joe Green. Another big crowd here for homecoming for Penn State. Gorgeous day in Happy Valley. Well, a little bit of a disgruntled feel pregame. A little disgruntled feel after the first drive for Penn State that led to a Drew Aller pick. Northwestern cashed in, 12 play. 7.5-minute drive led to 3 points on the Olson field goal. Luke Akers to kick it away. With Penn State chasing 3. And through the back. So Penn State fans have been calling for it. Give the ball to Katron Allen. Almost 7 yards per carry. Nick Singleton is more of their outside highway type runner. And it was Allen who they gave the ball a bunch to in that first drive.
Yeah, in that first drive, 3 carries for 15 yards, averaging 5 per, so just under that, almost 7 yards per carry. And you know, James Franklin was interesting talking to him yesterday. It was just like, hey man, it's just, you know, you just trust Nick Singleton to do so many good things, but we have to make the change.
Receiving team number 87. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down. That's number 87's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
Well, Andrew Rappelier, their tight end playing on special teams, backs Penn State up instead of the true touchback.
Yeah, uncharacteristic right there. They've been doing a lot of damage on special teams. They obviously had the onside kick given up against them last week. They cleaned that up right there. They were aligned in a totally different look for Northwestern. And then the uncharacteristic penalty by Rappelier.
3 penalties, 27 yards for Penn State late in this first quarter. Aller after the pick plants one underneath, and Northwestern likes to rally to the middle and underneath. That's where they kept that ball.
Yep, so that was kind of the Oregon plan for Northwestern. Make them check it down, keep everything in front of us, keep two safeties as deep as possible, and try to eliminate the talents of Kyron Hudson, Devontae Ross, Trevor Pena downfield.
Test for Allard today, right? Against play it safe type defense.
Be patient, be accurate, play in rhythm.
He hasn't always been accurate this year in the short passing game. He was on first down. And he kills this play on 2nd and 4. And got it to a run. And there is a first down. Kaytron Allen, the man we were just talking about, almost 7 yards a carry.
And there's more than 7 right there. You heard the kill, kill, kill. Basically changing one run to the other run. They must have been wanting to run this in the direction of Najee Story there, 95, in a different technique. And a great job getting vertical with power, as Kaytron Allen often does.
He loves a dirty box. He loves when the big bodies in there, and he runs right into the middle of the Northwestern defense. There he is outside. And he's nice open field tackle by Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Robert Fitzgerald, no relation. Physical guy. Their leading tackler coming top down. And that's what he does. Full speed, run through physical tackle, getting a big man to the ground.
They went into the box, chaos, and then they went outside.
Bounced it outside the box.
1 minute to go in this first quarter. 2nd and 6 after the nice play by Fitzgerald. Play fake. Quick toss out. Trevor Pena is run down. Mac Uline buzzing out to the flat to bring up 3rd down.
Really nice play by Uline. This guy just, he feels like he's a step ahead of everybody else. You'll see 37 right here. Play it with him. There's pullers. There's a bunch of traffic in front of him. That's really hard for that guy to be convinced that that ball's going outside. Great job. No hesitation.
Speeding out there to make it 3rd down and 5 with less than 20 seconds to go in the quarter. They will have to snap it here. Play clock and game clock, 5-second difference. Here is that 3rd down. And Allard over the middle and off target, but a twisting catch made. Devontae Ross adjusts to bring an end to the first quarter with a 1st down.
Great adjustment by Devontae Ross, as you said, just a little bit behind him. Taking the first quarter to the 2nd quarter. Somebody's got to make a play for him, and Devontae Ross was that man.
Only 1 target last week for Ross in the loss to UCLA for Penn State. 1st down to bring it into the quarter with Northwestern leading 3-zip. A replay looks at every play, of course, but took a long, hard look at this one during the break, and Devontae Ross did catch it. He kept that off the turf. 1st down, drive survives for Penn State to start the 2nd.
Yeah, his bicep and that little shoulder brace he had on kept it up off the grass, no doubt about that one.
Well, Northwestern turned an Ori Adei interception into 3 points in that first quarter. Penn State ran just 10 plays. This is their 11th of the game. And Allen running through arm tackles to the outside. There's the power.
There it is, no doubt it. Michael Kilbane in pursuit, ran through an arm tackle of the down lineman. Again, the power of Kaytron Allen is just so impressive. And this is a look at Anto Saka, one of their best players on defense. An edge presence, their version of Dennis Sutton being out is a big deal.
Gave it a go in warm-ups. Lower body injury keeps him out.
Backwards.
Funky formation. Clifford has to pull it down and run instead of throwing, and he took a pop from Brendan Flakes, who lets him know about it. And he's got the Chia Pet helmet, too, with grass in his face mask.
Really good decision by Clifford. It's a backwards pass. They were trying to set up a trick play to 16. Khalil Dinkins, you see him sneaking out of the backfield. You see this Northwestern coaching staff on the sideline. Everybody was aware over the top of it. Really good decision that time by Liam Clifford.
So still getting the grass out of the helmet. He takes a breather on the 3rd down and 3.
This is a little 13 personnel here, 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Aller spreads him out. Quick pitch. Pena spins out of there and is greeted by Wallace, but he's got the first down. Quick feet, Pena keep the drive moving.
Really good location by Drew Aller. Screen pass has to be thrown to the perfect spot. You get a couple tight ends out there, and Pena does the rest. Northwestern swarming to the ball. No false steps on this Northwestern defense almost ever. That means they're well coached.
And they've been coached today, Mark, to watch Pena, and that's a clue as to where the play is going for Penn State. So on a high alert of 8 for Penn State. This is opposite of Pena. It's a run for Allen. And as James Franklin said, he's been the workhorse early on. 6 yards on that pickup.
Making a commitment so far on the day. 7 attempts, 39 yards. Again, a 2-to-1 ratio between him and Singleton is the goal today.
Aller keeps himself first down as he slides to the 20 with a fresh set for Penn State.
Good awareness this time by Drew Aller. It's covered. We said they're going to make a play top down. Right here, they had no check down, nobody available, so he is the check down. Replaces the linebackers dropped out. You see 37 in his zone coverage. 33 Bruss as well. Rally to get the big, thick, hard to tackle Drew Aller on the ground.
And he used his big body to run for as many yards as he ever has last week. Got 10 on that play. And brings up an 11th snap of this Penn State drive. He gives. It's Allen. Stiff arm out. Shoulder pads down. And he rumbles ahead for 9 more.
This little mid-zone version. Kaytron Allen presses it, and then watch the backside blocks here, this time by 16 Dinkins, washing it down. Haggerty, no chance.
And it's wide open to the edge for an Allen touchdown. He kicks the door down for the first time today for Penn State.
Nice use of the tempo. They get up going fast. Northwestern not aligned. They miscommunicate. That is a gash set up by the body blow. Kaytron Allen delivered the previous 3 runs.
Well, you said 2-to-1 on that ratio.
Might be a little different.
It's 9-0.
That's where they want it.
So Penn State has listened to their fans about the distribution with the running backs. Fans here have been calling for it for a few weeks. 9 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown for Kaytron Allen. And the Nittany Lions lead at 7-3 over the Wildcats. We wonder what the response would be today with the Penn State fans, how they would use the running backs. 2 positives right there for Penn State. Kaytron Allen touchdown. Guy dressed like that is happy.
That guy's happy. You dap up the cheerleader, give the hi-ya. You get dapped up by your head coach. And this crowd is loud. They're always here. They're passionate. They're passionate. A little bit of a Bronx cheer. I don't know what the Philadelphia or Pennsylvania version of a Bronx cheer, but
you got an alliteration for us?
Now you give it to Kaytron Allen.
Anything with a P or an F floating through your head over there?
It's not appropriate.
We've had our one thing today that would fit that category. They're here. They're loud. 7-3 Penn State. Mark, can you yodel for me here?
Yeah, this reminds me of that the Price is Right game. What was it called? The cliffhanger? Was it cliffhanger with the yodeler?
Uh-huh.
Start high and then the yodel, then on right. Penn State, everything in front of them, 1 snap at a time. Clemson and Texas, not so sure that's the same case.
Thanks for committing to the bit. James Franklin in his first year and his second year lost to Northwestern. It's every 10 years type of deal for Northwestern, winning here. 2004, 2014, now in 2025. They'll try to pull an upset again on a hard crack on a 6-yard run for Komolafe.
Dominic DeLuca, they brought right inside. Here is 0, opening up the gate for Amari Campbell, 24, then to open up 17. Woosley coming top down and physical.
So 6-yard pickup into the teeth of Woosley and DeLuca for Northwestern. After a 12-play drive the last time they touched it, led to 3. Switch the back, and they give it to him. It's a big hole up the middle. Back-to-back runs for Komolafe, first down.
Komolafe is physical, the Katy native, 5'11", 210, and that's a great indication. When he knows it's time to go north, I go north and get every inch.
I hate to break it to you, they're actually going south here.
Don't be Tiger. Vertically in some direction towards his goal line, that's north. In football lingo, that's north. Go north.
Had to. I knew what you meant. He's a north-south guy,
exactly.
Not east-west guy. Komolafe. On a 1st and 10, play fake. Stone gets out of there. Calling for a man. Now he calls his own number. And out of bounds with a few yards.
Well protected that time. Penn State just bringing 4. They played zone behind it. Nothing open. Really good patience by Preston Stone there. Probably could have bit a couple more yards out of that, but he's doing a smart thing, protect himself here early on.
It's been a thing for him all year.
Yeah, just knowing when to go, where to go. Really got off to a rough start at Tulane. Turning the ball over. Really did not take care of it at all. When he does, as Coach Braun's going to take a timeout, when he takes care of it, they win.
Northwestern, their second of the half.
So 1 timeout left for the Cats. And Stone has played turnover free the last 2 weeks. And the Wildcats have won 2 in a row, to your point.
30-second timeout. Just looked like they didn't have the exact look they wanted there defensively. They subbed in, and so Penn State matched them, made them kind of think a little bit late into the play clock. Good use of that timeout.
Mark, how about this split? 13 runs, 6 passes for Northwestern.
Yeah, we knew that coming in. Really, both teams, it seemed like, really wanted to establish the run. Northwestern, that's what they do, and be very prudent in taking the risks of taking the shots downfield. If it's not there, a little quarterback run, as we saw, to set up this 2nd and 7 by Preston Stone, or check it down.
So run the ball well and then do that.
Yep, take care of the rock, and that's exactly what we were talking about earlier. When he's clean, they're good, and they throw around the Nittany Lion.
Blitzer coming. You can see them nosing, but they drop him out of there. Just a quick pass out for Elegon. And Elegon was the man pointing out that pressure, and a flag comes out at the end of that play.
Just late, unnecessary roughness, I believe.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit, defense number 10, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So DeJuan Lane was that man who showed blitz, dropped out of it, and then just played it a little bit too long. Looked like Elegon was turned back. I know head coach James Franklin will disagree with that. You can see Davion Collins has him wrapped up, stopped his forward progress. They had blown the whistle. DeLuca pulls up. Lane did not.
So the 4th penalty for Penn State. 4-zip in penalties. Northwestern has played penalty free.
Unbalanced.
And running right up the middle and denied Dennis Sutton. Over from that overloaded side makes the play.
He can flex, man. You make this play, try to get blocked by that backside tight end, and just runs through the would-be block. This guy just has to do this every single play. Strain. When you're a great player, what we see earlier, you got a screen, you got a hard count, you're gonna get held. Run through it. Keep playing.
Hasn't always
Sometimes
fought.
he does that.
Yeah,
exactly.
hasn't always fought through it this year. Had a hot start. And not quite as impactful the last couple of weeks in losses. Dennis Sutton, they run away from him this time. And 2 yards for Hyman. It's a 3rd down and long for Northwestern.
Kind of in this no man's land. They do have the potential of a field goal situation based on how much they get here, but wouldn't be surprised at all, kind of in this no man's land, that this is a 2-play situation here. Offensive coordinator Zach Lujan will have some options.
What do you like?
Well, if you're, the decision's already made. If they're going for it, just run to your base, maybe 3rd and mediums, or a 1st down, run down type of play, knowing that you're going to go for it on 4th down. We'll see what they decide.
It's a pass design. It's set up for Hyman, who turns the corner. He's got a 1st down. They only needed the 1 play to convert. No 4th down decision needed.
No, not necessary. Great job, Caleb Tiernan. Watch the left tackle. 72 right here. Play it with him. A little slider. The screen to Hyman. Look at the big man out there running. That is a big time block and finish in space on Kenny Woosley. That is 6'7", 325. Is that a 1st down? It is. It is.
Confirmed.
It's confirmed by Joseph.
So Northwestern picks it up and now inside field goal range. With a 1st and 10. It's a play fake to Hyman. Stone off his back foot. He's got a man. It's a touchdown. Wilde behind the defense. A 29-yard connection and a Northwestern lead.
Their best cover guy right here, A.J. Harris. Wilde, a little post look and the corner route. He loses Harris. Harris slips right at that break point, anticipating the drag, and Wilde to the house.
And stick in the landing. Stone and Wilde have been on the same page really quickly in their first year working together. And in a big-time environment in the Big Ten, it plays again.
Huge answer right there. Big-time play action pass. The dime and Stone enjoying the view.
Penn State defensive coordinator Jim Knowles yesterday took full responsibility for what happened at UCLA when his defense allowed 40-plus points. Said, I wish I had more answers. They didn't have one on that last drive. Touchdown.
And right there, that's their best guy. If you could have given any DB to cover their best guy, Griffin Wilde, it would have been A.J. Harris. He slipped on the route. The play-action pass set up beautifully. But, yeah, still searching for answers, and that's a big-time answer by Preston Stone and company.
Stone to Wilde for 29 yards. Northwestern with their 2nd lead of the afternoon. It's a short kickoff. And a returnable kick for Penn State. And Corey Smith is out of the first surge and out near the 40-yard line. So a good return from Smith, 34 yards on the bring back, and this was the sequence that set up the touchdown.
Yeah, setting up the touchdown. Caleb Tiernan, the lead block by the left tackle. Joseph Hyman, the 2nd on the 3rd down conversion, and then the hard sell play action pass. We run the ball, we run the ball, we run the ball. Let's take a shot to our guy, Griffin Wilde, South Dakota State transfer against Georgia.
Rabbit got the dog.
Rabbit got the dog.
That was a heavy dose of Allen that last drive for Penn State, and this is going nowhere. Devontae Ross is taken down in the backfield with Kilbane up making the play.
Just a little counter action play they run periodically, just a little cross buck action. There's so much toss sweep, outside action. Sometimes it's Pena, sometimes it's Ross. Really well defended by Northwestern.
Kilbane got him for a loss of 2. He's benefited a bunch playing with Aiden Hubbard and Anto Saka this year. Here's Singleton for the first time. They go to Singleton, and Northwestern ready for him on the edge. It's 3rd down.
And this guy's going to play his tail off, you know, having been challenged. They're roommates, they're friends, but when you're challenged and this guy's a competitor, he'll rise up. He will rise up to match every inch that Kaytron Allen has to this point.
Yeah, you wonder confidence level.
I think if you're a competitor, and Nick Singleton is, he'll rise.
Well, his first carry of the day comes more than midway through the second quarter. It's a third down. Drew Allar to throw. Looking sideline, a juggling play is knocked out of there. Josh Fussell back in there after injury, punched it out.
This guy is a good football player, man. 6 foot, 195. It's going to end up being a 3-man rush. Watch him pop out a little spy. Good location by Drew Allar. Eyes, eyes, eyes. Watch his eyes. Kyron Hudson. Eyes not on the ball. Eyes see ball hit, hands to tuck. Miss.
Mark, we were talking about it yesterday, the size of Hudson. Oh, that's on the ground and a turnover. Wagner muffed it. Penn State's on top of it. A critical mistake for Drew Wagner.
I think it was Elliott Washington here. Elliott Washington, the second 9, who kind of just nudges right here. Northwestern into Northwestern. You got to communicate that as the returner. Be loud. Got to get out of the way as it is. First and 10, Penn State.
First Northwestern turnover in 3 games. Gives Drew Allar and the Penn State offense excellent field position. It's Allar out the back door, and he made one man miss. And he picked up 5 yards after the takeaway on special teams for the Nittany Lions.
Defensive coordinator Tim McGargle was worried about tackling Drew Allar, 6'5", 235. He's rangy, but he's also, just when he gets pointed the right direction and going, he is hard to get to the ground. That represented their gain of 4.
He was like, man, those 2 backs, and then you got to go tackle big quarterback too. That's not fair. This is Singleton. He hits the hole hard. He has a first down. He said he'd be confident. He was his first 2 carries.
Yeah, aiming point. That's the answer right there for Nick Singleton. Get vertical, 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 vertical. No bounce. That has been his issue. If it wasn't clean, he'd bounce it right there. That A gap is your aiming point, and hit it. A nice clean box. First down.
Hey now, he's the outside runner. Typically, outside the tackles last year, he was 9 yards a carry. They want him to be a little more interior focused like he was there. And Singleton's got it again. Stretching out to the edge, and Braden Turner is ready for him outside.
Really nice defense right here by Northwestern. They're saying, hey, man, we are going to play over the top and make you earn it. Then that's what Penn State saw. You saw him kill to the run against that clean look. Defended.
Singleton straight ahead one more time. You can hear those pads popping.
Northwestern is a proud defensive unit. David Braun, a proud defensive guy. Tim McGargle, all chiseled out of the Pat Fitzgerald mold. When you talk to Mac Uline or Sadowski or Bruss, it's like blocks of granite that just copy each other.
That's like Bryce Gallagher and Xander Mueller have been right in that factory, leading the way for Mac Uline to come out of that David Braun, Tim McGargle, Pat Fitzgerald mold. And that hit brought up a 3rd down and 6. Allar rolls it out. Allar looking to throw back. Nothing there. He takes off himself. He's got blockers. Can he get all the way there and use the big body to lunge ahead for a first down and goal?
Aiden Hubbard does a really nice job. 91 here, defends the screen. They're trying to throw a throwback screen. 91 says, hey, I know this trick. Really good reaction right here. Drew Allar gets something out of it, and even better, first down and goal. Protect that rock. Protect it. Fitzgerald's coming.
He bows under, fakes it, and throws it short. Ooh, those are the ones Drew Aller has to have. He misses Singleton, and it's second down.
That's just one of those ones you can just reach out there and hand it to him virtually, and the football gods make you earn every inch. Just run through it, and again, he's kind of sliding to even that kind of throw. You got to run and finish to your target, hips to your target. Just missed.
It's a run on second and goal. Fitzgerald up to stick it. He loves to fit the run from safety. Third down.
Yeah, 6 foot, 210. The Dallas native just shot out of a cannon right here. That guy, he'll come from the top down right there. It's right at the point of attack. Him on Singleton again. Don't forget, Singleton's 225.
Giving up 15 pounds, Fitzgerald brings him down to take this to the 2-minute timeout. So unrest for this crowd leading into the game. Some unrest in this first half at 10-7. Northwestern into the 2-minute timeout. We've got a third down and goal coming up on the other side of this break with the Wildcats in front of the Nittany Lions by 3.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, Ohio State backs up its #1 ranking in Champaign. Alabama goes down to the Wild Missouri, and UCLA is looking like a completely different team. Connor and Mark, who are these guys? Talk to you at the half.
This is the Coach Neuheisel version of UCLA.
We talked about Preston Stone playing cleanly. If he can play as clean as Mike looks, they got a shot.
Well, yeah. It was a special teams turnover for Northwestern that had Penn State down here, and they are stopped on third down. Northwestern's defense on the goal line brings it up to a 4th and goal.
It'll be interesting here. This decision is already made to basically run a goal line short yardage run and now get to a version of a 2-point play. You've already decided you're going for it. Make Northwestern play the long field. You still have all 3 of your timeouts is what James Franklin is thinking right here instead of taking the points. And again, Penn State does get the ball first in the second half.
And this play blown dead. Timeout.
Before the ball was snapped, timeout, Northwestern, their and final charge timeout. 30-second timeout.
Good burst and perfect timing there from head coach David Braun. Get the look, see exactly what they're trying to do to you. That looked like the beginning of a goal line play action pass. And now see how Penn State responds if they stick with what they originally had called, or offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki goes into his 2-point play basket here at the 2-yard line. You've got a certain number of plays as 2-point plays that are also good for third or 4th down here.
How many would you usually have on your card? Play card?
Keeps getting bigger, with the advent of the extended overtimes. You got to get bigger. Back in the old days, it was 3. Now it's 10.
Let's see if they stay with that first option. Play action pass is what they showed. And it's a quick pitch out. Singleton to the edge, wins the foot race. Nick Singleton gives Penn State the lead late in the first half.
Nick Singleton doing what he does best. Watch this, just a track meet to the end zone. Rapelier, 87. Khalil Dinkins, 16, clean and setting the edge.
So off the special teams takeaway, off the muff from Wagner, it's a 4th down and goal that comes down to Penn State, tossing it out to Singleton. They're back up by 4. Mostly Allen until that drive. Singleton still running hard, even though he's getting less carries this afternoon. Northwestern looked headed to the half of the lead until this.
Right there, just miscommunication. Drew Wagner to his blocking protector, and Nick Singleton says, thank you very much. I'll take that to the house off the short field on 4th down.
So it was heavy Katron Allen. Then Nick Singleton had that drive where he was heavily featured with 7 carries.
Yeah, almost even carry-wise. You see again the production from Katron Allen and Nick Singleton in his quote-unquote defense right there. A lot of short yardage runs, large box, big body situations where they're, those aren't going to be explosion runs.
119 and no timeouts for Northwestern. This is a touchback from Wosu. 3 timeouts for Penn State. Now a question of aggression.
Yep. We'll see what Northwestern does here. You would anticipate them being conservative. And now flip to Coach Franklin. This is a time where he could steal a possession and again get another short field cheap one, knowing you're going to get the ball first in the second half. Try to get as many points, as many possessions as possible, pending Preston Stone and the Northwestern offense.
Penn State basically trying to triple up, not even double up. With the late score in this half, 3 timeouts. See what Preston Stone and the Northwestern offense have to say about that. They do run it, and Penn State is all over it, and there's the timeout. Xavier Gilliam makes the stop on Komolafe.
Penn State, their first of the half.
And there's the first time out of the half. Tomorrow on Fox, Dak and the Cowboys take on the Panthers, or Matthew Stafford and the Rams battle the Ravens, or other regional action. Check local listings for the game in your area tomorrow on Fox.
How's Micah Parsons doing for my Cowboys?
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
No, you didn't. Looked pretty good in Green Bay.
That's your squad, right? At least you're happy. At least you're happy.
You Cowboy fans are everywhere now.
Well, I'm old. I'm going back to the Roger Staubach days.
You got some blood pressure going there. All right, so Penn State did take that first time out to stop it, hoping for 2 more stops to get it back after Singleton just gave him the lead.
Komolafe and Welsing in there as chippers, protectors.
And King Mack coming on a blitz.
Ooh,
and that is swallowed up, but a flag is out. Fisher and Collins up to make the hit.
Yeah, Fisher. Zariah Fisher, 36, in here with a face mask. Here he is right here at the bottom of the screen, shedding the block. And no doubt about that one in Komolafe's grill. And that will be the first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 36, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The grab and twist, even though he got out of there. Face mask first down. So
Clock will start on the snap.
So that changes the decision making.
Yep. Now just you're getting out of it. James Franklin wisely tried to again steal that extra possession, the penalty right there. Now Northwestern won't have to execute anything, just protect the rock and get to the second half if you're David Braun.
You understand why James Franklin's shaking his head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those penalty numbers, 5-0. And more penalties.
Or go 2-minute drill.
Yep. It's over the middle. It's caught. Shy of the first down for Komolafe. Remember, no timeouts. The Wildcats, minute with the clock winding.
101 and counting. Preston Stone can do this. The SMU transfer obviously has the skill to play a no-huddle situation.
It's Komolafe met by DeLuca. Sticks his nose in there to fill the run and stop a first down.
Dominic DeLuca right there, just physical. Does 0, the 3-time captain. Again, if you're just tuning in, Tony Rojas out for the year. 0 right there, filling in big time.
I did give it to him on the first down. Even on the big DeLuca hit, and Stone retreats and gives it to the sideline. Stops the clock, 38 seconds.
Wise. Yep, don't take a shot. Don't take a risk on that first down play. You had Durant in the backfield. You had denied Dennis Sutton in the backfield. Let's play the next play.
David Braun does have a little bit of a secret weapon in his back pocket with Luke Akers, who is their long-range field goal guy. Usually they use Jack Olson in the short and mid-range. But if they can get another first down here, they're in possible field goal range for Akers. Crowd rises up on a 2nd down and 10. It's a screen for Hyman. This worked on their last touch, and he's got another 1st down, and he's into field goal range.
Yeah, Penn State missed the line there, had nobody on the slot receiver that time. It was Albright, and they threw the screen right behind it. Really well executed.
Stone working fast. He steps away from pressure, and it's incomplete. Zariah Fisher in his face.
Zariah Fisher trying to make up for that face mask penalty. You get 1 sack in this situation. It's like a 90-some% chance that the drive is dead. And this guy at 33, pumped up the rush, 36 multiple times the backfield. Zane Durant, 28. They're rotating their fresh pass rush. Now they have some, who's it, Blanding in there, 39, and Wafel.
For the most part, Northwestern has kept Stone clean. Just 1 sack, but a lot of pressure. DeLuca walked up to the line. He's coming. Stone gets it away, but nobody there, and a flag is out with Stone taking a big shot.
It's going to be Fisher again, and this is a late hit. It's roughing the passer. It looked like he just ran through him late. Watch him on the twist. He's going to end up inside.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 36, high hit to the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
He said high hit to the quarterback. Let's see it from this angle. A little bit to the face. You just can't hit the quarterback after that 2nd step. Preston Stone feeling it, but he'll take that all day long and setting him up in the red zone, 1st and 10. And I understand why Zariah Fisher is unhappy there, but that 2nd step hit, too much.
And so Fisher out, Stone stays in through gritted teeth.
And you talk about flipping a field there inside the 30, have him stopped with his face mask penalty. Now we're inside the 20 with a roughing the pass.
2 big penalties set Northwestern up in a good spot to score before the half. Stone back to the bench.
Denied Dennis Sutton. Just always in the quarterback's mind, you see Preston Stone just a little hitching his giddy up right there. He doesn't look 100% to me all day long. Tough kid.
We even saw it on the first drive, kind of falling
really
away a little bit.
Yeah, looked like he almost caught his cleats maybe in the turf, and just something is not right about his body, but he's making wise decisions. Dom DeLuca trying to ruin his day.
9 of 15 for Stone, over 100 yards in this 1st half, including the touchdown to Wilde. Wilde's down on the bottom side, his favorite target. On 2nd down, looking back shoulder, it's knocked away. Elliott Washington with the tight coverage.
Good job in protection this time by Hyman. Blitz with DeLuca coming, and another one-on-one opportunity outside. Really well defended by Washington. Northwestern fans will talk about that right hand of Washington, and there was a little grab there, but not really enough to get a flag. That wasn't really a catchable ball type situation with the way the route was run more than anything else.
Well, on the 3rd and 10. Stone escapes. He's got to get out of bounds, and he does. With 6 seconds on the clock, he got blasted by DeLuca. And he keeps the chance of 3 points alive by just getting out.
Yeah, DeLuca lit him up inbounds. Watch 0. He's in coverage out here to the right. He is inbounds. Both of his feet are inbounds. That is a legal shot. And Preston Stone got out of bounds and earned it.
So a 34-yard try for Olsen at the end of the half. And to make it a 1-point game. And Jack Olsen puts it through. So 2 big penalties plus Stone, Komolafe, and Hyman moving the ball down. And Northwestern down just 1 on the road in Happy Valley.
Right there, you could see James Franklin pointing to the edge of that kick. Looked like Northwestern got away with a hold off the edge, and was talking to the officials between that after you get those, you know, in his mind, kind of a nickel-dime situation on the roughing the passer. But no doubt about that first face mask that got this kind of drive started and allowed Northwestern to capitalize.
He's got to be saying, man, 6 penalties one way, 0 the other way.
Yep. Yeah, it looked like Davion Collins was the guy coming off the edge that got held.
The 2 against Penn State on that drive legit, the face mask and the hit to the quarterback. They wanted that one back after the field goal for Olsen, makes it 14-13. We saw Corey Smith with a big return the last time that Northwestern kicked to him. And he's back deep again with 3 seconds on the clock. And Akers hoping he doesn't get a chance to touch it. And they do kick it to the up men, and that'll run out the clock. Well, back and forth first half, 14-13 to the locker room. Penn State, a 3-touchdown favorite, leading by 1, getting the ball out of halftime. So Allen and Singleton with rushing touchdowns for Penn State. Griffin Wilde with the receiving touchdown for Northwestern. Good ball game going in Happy Valley today in the Big Ten. After this, you'll hear from Mike Hill and the guys in the studio for the halftime report.
Welcome to the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Inside our Los Angeles studios, Mike Hill along with Chris Peterson and Bruce Feldman. We'll get you back out for the second half between Northwestern and Penn State very shortly. But first, we got to get you caught up on action from around the country with our State Farm halftime highlights. And we got to show you Ohio State, #1 team in the nation, taking care of business today against Illinois. And Julian Sands been that guy this year.
Man, he looks like a vet, just calm, cool, and collected, checking it down to his check down, who takes it in for a score.
Of course, they got a running back named Bo Jackson, who has to be good with a name like that. Ohio State up 20-0. Ohio State's defense, really the story. We're going to show you a lot of offensive highlights here. But they had 3 turnovers in the game that led to 21 Ohio State points. Sand floating into that guy, Jeremiah Smith. Ohio State rolls. 10th straight win. 34-16, the final there in Champaign. And for them to lose so much on defense and to be better, what's that say about Ohio State real quick?
It says they have recruited exceptionally well, and Matt Patricia has fit into Ryan Day's culture.
Whatever he's drawing up with that pencil is working out for that defense. With more from Champaign, here's Rob Stone and the Big Noon Kickoff crew.
Top-ranked Buckeyes improved to 6-0, courtesy of their 8th straight ranked win. Rob Stone, Brady Quinn, Mark Ingram, Matt Leinart, the coach Urban Meyer here with you. The Buckeye D finally conceded a red zone touchdown, but other than that, they continue to run at an elite level.
I'm just saying, I picked the score to be, Mark, 35-17. So if you guys want to know scores and odds from now on, just come to me, I'll let you know.
Gotcha,
the defense was fantastic. How about going to a game as an offensive coach and knowing you got to score 3 touchdowns, you're going to win? That's the way I feel about the Ohio State defense.
Yeah, I think the only concern for me is their last 3 games, their rushing attack, they're averaging 130 yards per game. That's 80th in the country in that span. It's just the one area that they have to continue to improve on to get a chance next week against Wisconsin.
I just want to talk about Illinois. Coach, you talked about them. Illinois, they have to come in here and play a perfect brand of football. They did it. They had 3 turnovers that led to 3 touchdowns. Ohio State continued to capitalize on the missed opportunities. That's why they won the game.
And give Illinois some credit. Look, Ohio State only allowed 2 touchdowns the entire season coming in this one. Illinois got a couple. I know we're not into moral victories, but this is still a very good football team. They get a bye week, have to rebound, then go on the road and play Washington. So there's still a lot out there for Illinois this season.
Yeah, Matt, you mentioned next up for the Buckeyes, Wisconsin. Then it's a bye week, then Penn State in Columbus. So the Buckeyes get another win, and it was an orange out here in Champaign, but let me tell you, there was a lot of scarlet and gray here in Champaign today.
That was impressive. Look, Ohio State's offense is always going to come to play. Julian Sands having an unbelievable season his first year as a starter, but this defense is what's carrying them so far.
Yeah, you know what jumps out to me about that? There's no question we've been hammering this defense, how good it is. But the thing that looks different to me is is Ryan Day. I think Ryan Day learned a ton from last year. When you watched Ryan Day last year and listened to him, he just felt like he was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. And sometimes his team kind of played like that. After that Michigan loss, everything changed. They had it out. They started playing fast and free and physical. And they're playing like that this year, and he looks different. It's just like we talked about this. This is the #1 team in the country that like is kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah.
You look at Julian Sands' face. He's like back at Carlsbad High School having fun, just throwing touchdowns. And it's awesome to see.
Yeah, it's interesting because we talked a little bit, you mentioned the changes on defense especially. Matt Patricia comes in, by the way, as bad as Bill Belichick has looked for North Carolina,
Right.
Matt Patricia looks like he knows college football. Now, he's got a lot to work with. He's got a great chess piece in Caleb Downs. They do a lot of stuff with him. Arvell Reese, big linebacker, number 8 in the middle of the defense. He has been a breakout star this year. But 4 new D linemen, they get after people. Luke Altmaier, no turnovers coming into the game, has really been in command. They forced 3 turnovers. To me, that was the difference because it wasn't like the offense had to do a lot. Yep. Their defense gave them a fighting chance.
Yep.
Isn't it kind of surprising that Ohio State, #1 team in the nation, the defending national champions, and once again flying under the radar? I think they'll take that for right now, as long as they continue to win. Hey, after an opening week loss to Florida State, you can say the tide has been stemmed coming into today, riding a 4-game winning streak with big wins against Georgia and Vanderbilt. Alabama facing the 3rd straight top 20 team in Missouri today, and Bo Prabula and the boys trying to keep it close here and juking it, keeping it himself, tying the game at 17 right there. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah, Bo he can shake and bake, and he's really, really fast.
Here's a call, though. Missouri going for it on 4th and 4 with a fake punt on 4th and 4, down by 3 in the 4th quarter in their own end of the field. What do you think of the call there, Coach?
Well, what I thought it was a great play by Alabama's defender, who's actually a running back to make the stop short of the sticks.
And I thought this was the play of the game. Alabama up 20-17, 4th and 8. They go for it. They get it. Ty Simpson and Lazir Brooks, 29-yard game, setting up that. Simpson to Daniel Hill, also on 4th and goal. 2-yard score, made it a 2-score game. But under a minute left, Mizzou needed a field goal to tie. Last chance right there. Prabula's pass picked by Dijon Lee Jr. So Alabama hangs on to win it 27-24 for their 5th straight win. Meanwhile, Florida State, after starting off 3-0, world beaters, and now all of a sudden they can't beat anybody. Taking on Pitt, Mason Highschuler, Desmond Reed, 2nd TD of the game. We're tied at 21.
He was banged up coming into this game. He not only played, he played fantastic. Big plays in the pass game especially. And they got a quarterback here. Benched Eli Holstein for him. Not all perfect.
Yeah.
A little bit rocky, but like Pat Narduzzi, they find a way to get the ship kind of stabilized, sort of.
Yeah, ball bounces the right way, and then Turner takes it into the end zone. Florida State now 3-3 as Pitt wins it 34-31. Let's go back to that Alabama once again after that Florida State loss. Everybody in Tuscaloosa coming down on your boy Kalen DeBoer. I can't believe they were doing that. And all of a sudden, they've righted the ship, man. For the first time in his Alabama tenure, they've won 5 in a row. This team looks pretty good in the SEC right now.
They really do. And, from afar, it's hard for me to listen to everybody from the South come down on Kalen because I've seen him up close and personal. I think this is truly one of the best coaches in the country. He's 6-1 at Alabama versus ranked teams. He's 18-3 overall as a head coach versus ranked teams. And it takes a minute to get your way established. And I think that's what you're seeing is his way established. Alabama, as we know, has a tough schedule, and they got it coming. And it is hard when you have to have your fastball every single game. The kids are going to be prepared. They're going to be ready to play, but to have that energy and that edge to them is really, really hard. And you're seeing Kalen and his staff bring that to the forefront each Saturday.
Mike, to me, what jumps out, and look, no secrets, you're a big Alabama guy. Yeah. You were with us 4th and 8, and Ty Simpson makes the throw of the day. Yeah. He is playing with such confidence, but more than that, I think Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer have so much confidence, and it's amazing. I was down in Tuscaloosa right before the start of the season, and he was not this guy in the spring. They kind of weren't sure what they had. And all of a sudden, it just seems like he's playing with more confidence than any quarterback in the country. And that's pretty amazing to see because right now, Jam Miller got banged up again. Yep. You worry about that because the run game, it's not like they're great in that. They gave him some run game. But I just think if your quarterback is playing at that level with the receivers, it wasn't like a good game for Ryan Williams. I think it's also, and I also think it showed their mental toughness to come back on the road. I mean, as much as we were talking about them going to Athens on a night game and winning that game, to me this is almost as impressive because they battled and Jam Miller got hurt and they still found a way to win.
Yeah, third straight against the top 20 opponent. They still got Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma coming up, so that schedule doesn't get any easier.
The one thing I know about Kalen DeBoer, he will not play scared. He will not call a game scared. He will go for it.
Keep on winning. They can play any way they want to. Hey, last week UCLA pulled off the shocker of the year, beating Penn State, knocking the Nittany Lions all the way out of the polls. So what would the Bruins' encore look like today in East Lansing? It looked damn good.
They picked up where they left off.
How is this possible for a team that looked like the worst team in college football just 2 weeks ago to look like world beaters in just 2 weeks?
It is crazy. I mean, it does show you that, mojo, confidence, coaching, all that coming together can matter.
Positive energy, man. Jerry Neuheisel, a cloud of sunshine is now there.
2-0 now on the interim coach, Tim Skipper. Hey, over on Fox tonight, it's a Big 12 battle between Kansas and 9th-ranked Texas Tech. That's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's coming up. The second half between Northwestern and Penn State is coming your way shortly.
First half, more of a face painting than an oil painting here in Happy Valley. 14-13 Penn State. Big Uglies having a big part of this one. 14-13 at the half. More to come from Happy Valley. Spirited homecoming crowd here in Happy Valley, and 14-13 back and forth first half. That saw Penn State on the ground with Katron Allen lead 102-47 over the Wildcats. But that bottom line, big part of the discussion for James Franklin going into halftime, 6-0 in penalties, including 3 points at the end of the half for Northwestern off those penalties. Mark Elfrich, Connor Runyon.
I was very excited about your Zane Durant penalty profile there. Big-time penalties, and James Franklin kind of went after the officials there at halftime, and you get it. In this situation, all the noise, all the stuff going on, it's those kind of little details that can make a huge difference.
Penalties, no fun if you're Penn State, but Katron Allen, he's been the one. He's been the one back today. It's not 1A, 1B.
As advertised, the difference was made. The reps went differently, and it was hard sailing at first. He ran very well, the cutback, and then the tempo play right here to pay dirt, gaping hole, wide open, and the touchdown celebration from Katron Allen.
Kicking that door down, and Singleton and Allen both with touchdowns, and Penn State will get it first in this second half. Akers to kick off to Smith, and here we go. And it is into the end zone.
Just
a bit inside. Flag is down, you're right. It's back where that kickoff happened.
So the officials responded with that'll be a procedure penalty against Northwestern.
Illegal formation. Kicking team number 18 was further than 5 yards back at the kick spot. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Penn State upset it was 6-0, and the official said, "We'll show you." First play of the half.
1 for 5. The innocent little 1 for 5. That you have to be inside 5 yards. You don't get a head start in the old days. The track start, got to be inside that line. Most smart guys in Northwestern get that.
Well, after a low passing number for Aller in the first half, they keep it on the ground. Just 35 passing yards for Aller on 6 of 9 in that first half.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of that all night long as Penn State's going to go fast. Katron Allen against Mac Uline.
Then it is back-to-back carries for Katron Allen into the back of his own guys. And it's Braden Bruss over this time. Third down.
Anthony Danko in there. Again, they're rotating, mixing and matching offensive linemen. Sometimes 6 in there. and still trying to find that magic combination. Started Shanahan at right guard, Rucci at right tackle.
Dunko still limited today. He only played 14 snaps against UCLA last week. And Cooper Cousins out on that offensive line. Some of their depth for Penn State.
New line's coming.
Backed Bruss out of there. 5 coming. Aller away from the pressure and a first down. Puts it on target to Devontae Ross. And this opening drive of the half carries on.
Good protection that time by that Penn State offensive lineman. By that offensive line, a little twist along with the pressure brought by defensive coordinator Tim McGargle, brought U-line. They picked it up. First down.
Well, remember, coming out of half here, Penn State, they've got to be perfect to get to the college football playoff starting today after 2 early losses in Big Ten to Oregon and UCLA. Northwestern going for 3 wins in a row on a first down. Aller dumps it short. Did he get underneath it? He did not. Hudson had that touch grass. Incomplete pass, second down.
Right there, Aller, really good job. Northwestern dropped the D lineman. I think it was Hubbard to the boundary underneath the slant. He wanted to throw the slant, but the D lineman was in the throwing lane and then probably got away with a couple of offensive linemen downfield there. As it stands, an incomplete pass. Nobody hurt. You see 91 in space right there. See the ball. Yeah, tip on the ground.
Second down and 10. Pressure coming with Fitzgerald up the gut, and Allen skipped away from the free man. And Northwestern rallies up with their backers. Third down again.
Tim McGargle coming out swinging, the defensive coordinator bringing pressure. Kind of had to make a decision here. Again, is Katron Allen and his ability to break tackles, run the rock. We saw on full display in that first quarter. Got to make a determination here to bring pressure and put the secondary at risk. Right here, 5 up, right on the line of scrimmage.
So Northwestern showing 6 this time, bringing some heat. And they got to Aller and forced an off-target throw. Aller hit by Braden Bruss, the linebacker, coming right up the gut, and it's 4th down.
Really good disguise and design. As you said, the twist is going to be right in his lap. They end up with the 5 up. The 6th defender there is Bruss. Bruss, along with Callan Campbell, make Drew Aller throw it faster than he wanted to.
So Northwestern gets their stop. Nwosu punts it away, and Wagner runs away from it. And Northwestern will be pinned back deep in their own territory. Inside the 1, Davion Collins, who was in on the muff punt earlier, downs it on a 55-yard boomer from Nwosu. 99 yards to go for Northwestern when you come back. Well, Preston Stone back out for the Wildcats to start the second half after he was on target to Hyman and Wilde a couple of times to drive him down that first half.
Yeah, that dig route really got the drive going, and this was the corner route, best on best, trying to quiet this Beaver Stadium crowd.
Well, they are in his ear hole as much as they have been all day, down in front of the student section. And they run it to get him out of the shadow of their own end zone. It's Komolafe for 4.
Komolafe, again, decisive and vertical. That time he went north.
He is going north, cardinal direction-wise.
But just really good awareness of where you are on the football field, what is blocked for you, and getting every inch of it.
Do you pick up a compass at halftime?
You're my compass. You're my guidance.
I'm glad we're back home together this week. 2nd and 6. As that student section continues to bring it down on this end, and it's back-to-back runs and right up the gut. Northwestern finds themselves some space backed up. This one goes for 8 and a first down for Komolafe.
Beautiful design. Watch Albright 86, playing fullback and fitting up on the backside backer. Komolafe getting his hip pocket. Good job being vertical again, urgent, getting back north as quickly as possible, seeing any air, and a big first down for Northwestern, getting off the goal line.
The Wildcats and Zach Lujan, their offensive coordinator, love to use tight ends. Lawson Albright, he's their best run blocker in that group for this run-first offense that is finally slowed down by Zane Durant.
Zane Durant right here, they said he was the vocal guy that helped everybody to flip the script. He's right here in the front. Slip the block, runs through the little mini hold, and a takedown.
That's what you're talking about with Dennis Sutton, right?
Yep.
You got to play through some of those.
Yep.
Durant, guy lined up next to him, shows it on a run that goes for no gain. Stone to throw. Sutton coming. Dennis Sutton didn't get there, and Stone runs away from him and submarines ahead for a 6-yard pickup.
We talked about this earlier. No check down available to Drew Aller. He ran for the first down. Right here, Preston Stone had no check down, had a void in the coverage. They were playing like a little man match on the backside. There was nobody for him. Really smart, really aware. Set up a 3rd and 3.
Run here.
It's, yeah. I mean, they've again, trying to see what they come out in here. You got 17 down the bottom. Wilde outside.
Elegon motions out, and Collins picked him up. Pressure on Stone, and at the feet, it's incomplete. Zariah Fisher charging ahead to apply the pressure on Stone.
Zariah Fisher legally, right? Legally applying that pressure. They're going to try to hit the shallow route to the tight end, who is wide open. But Zariah Fisher says, you don't have time for that.
Became 56, Penn State.
Hunter Welsing would have had a first down, but Fisher stopped any chance of that. And Penn State will get it back from the Wildcats. And it takes a Northwestern hop, and you can't advance it after you make the signal.
Yeah, made a fair catch signal.
So Devontae Ross blown dead on the touch. And Zariah Fisher bringing the heat on Stone to get the ball back to Penn State, leading by 1 on the other side.
Are you guys still in the hunt for the playoffs?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Yes.
Well, debate worth having. What do you think?
Well, absolutely. They are. I mean, mathematically, absolutely. And in Drew Aller's defense, that was a hard time, right? That was right after the UCLA game, a giant upset. But everything's in front of you. Earmuffs. Put on the earmuffs. Put on the blinders. Play this next play with everything you got.
If you win this one, you go to Iowa next. Bye week, then at Ohio State. You got Indiana too, and that's on target. And a good start to this drive as Ross turns it up, and a first down for Penn State. But you've got those big games ahead, but Northwestern is putting all stops to that with a 1-point game here.
Yep, speed cut right here. Devontae Ross, well timed that time by Drew Aller, out in rhythm and time, allowed him to square up, make a miss, and convert.
Devontae Ross, 6 catches, the rest of the team with just 2. So they've got him back involved after 1 target last week. That was it. Back to the run game. So with that conversation about the playoff, right? You can't have another loss if you're Penn State, including this one today, or it's all over.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. It's almost freeing in a way. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, but you got theoretically nothing to lose if you're these guys. Again, 1 snap at a time. All you have to do is look back to last year, Ohio State, right? They weren't in the Big Ten championship game, won the national championship. None of that other stuff matters right there. The remaining schedule, that's for the fans, that's for us, that's for everybody else, for Drew Aller and company. 2nd and 8 is it.
They empty it out. Aller given time. Nobody open. Now he finds a man. It's Hudson along the sideline for a chain mover.
That was good defense by D coordinator Tim McGargle and the veteran Aller, who was trying to throw the option route. Watch, this guy gets triple teamed. An inside backer, outside backer, defensive end drops out. I got to come outside to the former Trojan Kyron Hudson.
Mark, that's his first catch.
Kyron Hudson's good.
Yeah, first catch of the game.
Katron Allen's good.
They've wanted to get multiple guys going at the same time in the wide receiver room, and they haven't had that yet in their 2 Big Ten games. It's been Ross today. Now they got Hudson involved and a throwaway. Aller looked at Allen, and Allen was going to block.
Yeah, good rush that time by Aiden Hubbard. 2.5 sacks, 3.5 for loss, and that'll add to his hurry total right there in the backfield. Makes Aller uncomfortable, and yeah, just a little bit out of sync there with Katron Allen on when to turn it up and when to present himself as a viable option.
So Northwestern forces 2nd down. Get Penn State out of that original look. Bastone coming. Aller had to fire, and it's incomplete. Bastone was wrapping around that edge and forced Aller to fire it away for a 3rd down.
Carmine Bastone again, just a workman-like dude. Doesn't fill the stat sheet, but gets double teamed. He's a block eater for these running backs to flow off of, and right there became the pass rusher.
He's their best interior run player and showed his 2nd best skill there to bring up a 3rd down and 10. Pena got out of there. Aller patiently working his way through, and it's Bastone riding his back again. Well, Michael Kilbane there to help, and they are not saying Drew here in Happy Valley.
No, that 3rd and 10, they've had just a little bit of issues in pass protection on this drive. So they went the QB draw route. Northwestern on the spot, the twist game right into it, and got the big guy down.
So that front for Northwestern stands up to force the punt. Wagner let one bounce last time. Wosu will try to pin him again. And Wagner this time makes the catch. And not one to let them get pinned inside the 1 again. Well, Northwestern gets it back, chasing 1 from State College, mid-3rd quarter. Start your Saturday strong with Big Noon. Explosive duo Bryce Underwood and Justice Haynes lead Michigan against Washington at the Big House. It all starts at 10 a.m. Eastern with Big Noon kickoff, and then it's Washington, Michigan, only on Fox. Rematch of the national championship game from a couple years ago. Penn State's run more plays. They've had more of the clock, but they have not been able to separate. Northwestern's defense with a terrific stand. Get the ball back to Preston Stone, who fires away to Griffin Wilde, who can't get far away. He's roped down by Darius Dixon for a short gain.
And the ball popped out, and Dixon popped it loose. Wilde on the scene and ended up gaining about a half yard, lost the yardage of the pass on the fumble recovery. Just kind of a little drive starter, easy throw there from Preston Stone to his guy.
Well, this Northwestern offense has protected the ball as they have the last couple of weeks. 2 special teams mistakes, that's been it. One led to the Penn State touchdown that has had him in the lead since then. DeLuca coming on a blitz, and he is there to drill Pomolafe. He stood him up, and then Antoine Belgrave shorter dusted him off.
Jim Knowles setting the tempo here with the pressure, as you said, from DeLuca. It looked like Gilliam inside 54 as well in the backfield. Turns it back right there. Missed tackle, spin move, and finish.
On the loud side of the field, 3rd down and 8 for Preston Stone and the Northwestern offense. 4 men coming. Stone fires it in there, complete. That's his safety blanket, his favorite 3rd down target. Griffin Wilde moves the chains.
Zone defense here. Defensive coordinator Jim Knowles challenging. Says we got to get the 4-man rush there. Just a little option route. Spins Darius Dixon around and moves the chains. Really well executed. 2 guys that have great chemistry together.
It's happened instantly. Impressive how quickly those 2 have connected. A 12-yard pickup on 3rd down. Hyman in the back, they switch him over. Fake it to him. And it's Wagner on the bubble. And a couple of nice blocks out there to clear some space on the edge for Drew Wagner.
Yeah, Lawson Albright, 86, was out in front of that. They brought edge pressure. Preston Stone sees the edge pressure. It says, I'm going to fill it up with this screen outside. Watch 86. Finish with the flat back.
Albright has done a lot of the dirty work in the run game for Northwestern this year, showing his perimeter blocking skills for an 8-yard pickup. DeLuca coming again, running right into it. 1st down, Joseph Hyman. And Durant there to stop his progress, but another 1st down for Northwestern, their 2nd of the drive.
Really well designed, better blocking, and again Hyman just more physical than 190. Watch this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders against 6 blockers. Amari Campbell has to fold over. The safety has to come out of the sky to make the play right there. It's King back, and he can't before they move the chains.
Remember, Mark, Jim Knowles told us I'd put it on me. I didn't have answers last week. I wore that one hard. So Northwestern has put together 2 1st downs on his defense, and nothing doing there. Denied Dennis Sutton on Drew Wagner for no gain.
Good awareness on this perimeter again. These Penn State defenders are used to getting screened. Right there, denied Dennis Sutton on the scene, retracing his steps, runs down the line and finishes Wagner. Do a good job getting Wagner in that screen game. Him and 80 Hayden Elegon have really stepped up their role when Griffin Wilde draws a double team. They've stepped up their game.
And Stone just flipped the formation bunch to the wide side. And they run into the boundary. It's Hyman slithering through there. And saw his crease and hit it hard. And that makes it 3rd and short.
Same thing, and they're going to just have to change something here defensively. Right here, again, it's just a numbers game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders and a tight end. Just get vertical. Watch the ability now here. They get it fit on that front side, cut it back to air. That defender has to make the play there. Zachy Wheatley from space. 6 has to come downhill. 3rd and 3.
And Wheatley here is lingering around the box. On this 3rd and 3, Hyman runs into a wall. Penn State gets their stop on 3rd down after they were just gashed. Amari Campbell, Zariah Fisher join the herd.
Amari Campbell in the backfield. Zariah Fisher, he did some bad things there, doing some great things in the 2nd half, playing cleanly, and right there ending that drive. And already a minute left in the 3rd quarter.
And no points yet, either way. It's 14-13 at halftime. Trevor Pena is back for Penn State. The 2nd straight drive, Northwestern picked up a couple of 1st downs. Got out of their own end zone twice, but it stalls just shy of midfield. And this is stopped before the Akers punt with the delay.
Yeah, they were trying to. They may have had something going there.
The ball was snapped. Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Saw the personal protector there checking the protection. Maybe they had a fake going in that kind of 4th and medium zone. Maybe they were just adjusting the protection, it just took too long.
I think after the block punt too.
Yep. Now they hustle up the line and try to the late sub.
Akers gets away a good one to Ross, who dropped it. Northwestern is there. Helmet flying, ball flying, Wildcats football.
James Franklin can't believe it. They got to stop defensively. They had exactly what they wanted. There was a penalty.
Penn State number 5 lost his helmet. Must leave the game for one play.
They brought a sub on late. They were a little bit confused. I think it was Reeder. Man, you can just see again, just unsound there by Devontae Ross trying to back up and pivot on that ball. And it's Reeder, 24 on the recovery.
Evan Smith with a big pop. Reeder with the recovery. And it is first down and goal, Northwestern. A big day for special teams. Blocked punt, Penn State. Muffed punt, Northwestern. Muffed punt, Penn State. Now the Wildcats a chance to take the lead. There's 3 touchdown underdogs on the road in Happy Valley.
They're talking about the spot here. There's confusion. Oh, now what happened there, I think they have right there, it's defensive number 5, Darius Dixon, and not Devontae Ross. His helmet came off.
It's a different number 5 that lost his helmet. He may remain in the game.
Do you think he went up to,
first down?
He went up and said, hey, Devontae. And he said, no, I'm Darius. Stay in, you're fine.
I thought maybe Ross had talked his way back in to try to make up for the play, too. Confirmed it's Dixon. Here's Como Lafe submarining ahead. Got a couple of yards in this final half minute of the third quarter.
Just an unbelievable swing here. Northwestern's going to take this to the quarter most likely. And, James Franklin, they're going to go fast. Penn State is subbing, so they can have the time and ability to sub at a reasonable pace. And like we said, we're going to the fourth. James Franklin told us, man, our special teams have been rock solid with the exception of the onside kick last week. Right there, the muff.
So Northwestern on the doorstep of a lead on the road, trying to pull another shocker back-to-back weeks against the Penn State Nittany Lions. Devontae Ross, muffed punt, and a little extra shot of belief for David Braun and Northwestern into the fourth.
Ton of belief on this Wildcat sideline right there. It's like, guys, right what we talked about, everything we talked about. We'll just go out here and out-team this Penn State unit.
The Big Ten Coach of the Year 2 years ago, David Braun. His team inside the red zone. A pump and a throwaway for Preston Stone. And a third down and goal to start this fourth quarter.
I think they were trying either a little double move there or just got stoned on his release.
It's Hayden Elegon, Mark.
Yeah. This is an official's timeout for an injury.
And that explains it. Maybe a little cramp, maybe a little something in the calf, because he kind of froze and looked like that. That type of thing happened. Watch as he releases, and then Preston Stone wisely grabbing that left calf. Hopefully he's something soft.
One play into the fourth quarter. Hayden Elegon down for the Wildcats. Hayden Elegon walking off the field by himself. That's good news. He's back on the Northwestern bench ahead of a third down and goal after a muffed punt by Devontae Ross gave Northwestern a first and goal with a chance to take a lead. Thinking 6 over 3.
Single up top on Wilde.
Stone running out of room, and down he goes. Fisher in pursuit with Dennis Sutton.
You don't want to get in a drop back passing contest with these pass rushers when they are clean. Tonight, Dennis Sutton, Zariah Fisher in the backfield. And Preston Stone just not enough burst as he escapes there to get around the horn and throw it away. Should have just thrown it in row 2 and made this an easier field goal.
So Mark, instead of a 26-yard field goal, it's a 41-yard field goal on a 15-yard sack. So Jack Olson for the lead on the road in State College. And Olson delivers the lead for the Wildcats. David Braun pumping belief into his guys before this quarter. And off of the muff, Northwestern cashes it into 3 points. They came in here 3 touchdown underdogs. They lead it by 2.
Big Ten is a totally different animal right now than it's been in the past. And not that it wasn't a great conference before, but I mean, this is so much more like the NFL than it's ever been. Any given Sunday in the NFL, well, in the Big Ten, it's any given Saturday. Week in and week out, you're going to be facing a team that's really talented, that's really well coached, that's really well prepared, and you better bring your best.
Any given Saturday, it's David Al Pacino Braun on the mic.
Nostradamus here and trying to make this happen. A huge upset. One wounded cat animal against another, and right now Northwestern on top by 2.
A muff punt cast in for 3 points. Northwestern 16, Penn State 14. Early in the 4th as Akers kicks it away. And that will be brought out. That was a mistake. Another one on special teams. Tyler Holtzworth caught in between, and he was clobbered by Roth and the Wildcats.
Just try to do too much, right? That's what happens in situations like this. You feel it. He's already made the decision. It's too deep. Kind of cashes it in, and then, man, that looks a lot like Devontae Ross turning backwards. You can still take the knee right there. Too late. Northwestern with the stop, big time stop by Roth.
Northwestern trying to win their 3rd game in a row and pull off a big upset as 3 touchdown underdogs. It's Allen in the flat, and he is stacked up. Yeah, the first hit from Braden Turner, and then everybody, all hats to the defense for Northwestern.
Little unbalanced screen, had unbalanced to the boundary there, had Katron Allen and Nick Singleton in the game at the same time. Right there, Singleton's going to come out.
Aller motions over Dinkins, his tight end. And they run to that direction, and Allen extra yard after original contact. But look at that again, Mark. There are 4 guys there for Northwestern to make the tackle.
Yeah, just really good team defense. Guys know the base play, that stretch play. Had to get the man upfield. I believe that was Aiden Hubbard that turned it back inside. And then that's one thing to turn back Katron Allen. Then you got to get him to the ground. 3rd and 5. See what offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki dials up.
2 punts out of halftime for the Penn State offense, and they face another 3rd down. Northwestern's been terrific on this money down.
4-man rush.
They're bringing those 4 guys, and Aller kept clean. It's Ross who can fly. He's in open space. Foot race. Can they catch him? He stumbles his way across the field, and he is inside the 20. 3rd and 5 turned explosive the other way. And Penn State right inside the red zone.
Key here, protection. 4-man rush, zone coverage. He starts here. Runs the shallow concept, the vertical push from Luke Reynolds. And then Ross does the rest. As you said, I thought he was gone right there. Great effort. That was Fitzgerald, Day both in chase mode. Maybe touchdown saving tacklers.
TJ Shanahan pointing to Drew Aller after a 67-yard connection to Devontae Ross. The biggest play of this game for either team.
Yeah, probably almost doubling up Drew Aller's passing output to that point.
He's up to 131 after 67 yards through the air on that play. And so a quick feeling flipper for this Penn State side. And just saw Northwestern take the lead. Up the middle, Allen with a burst. Allen driving to the goal line. He's in for a touchdown.
You had a feeling, this guy was going to get the ball. Kaytron Allen possessed right there. Watch the cut right here at the end. Kyron Hudson with the escort. Carter Wallace, 18, trying to save the touchdown. Let's see. Ooh, that is going to be close. Really both knees to that point. Have a pretty good look at this right here. Kyron Hudson. Kick out. They'll put these together. It's going to be the right knee, I believe, is the first thing that hits. Left knee is up.
Probably got to take a look at it down the line and piece it together. Ruled a touchdown. So 87 yards on those two plays. The big pass play on 3rd and 5. 19-yard rushing touchdown for now. Mike, do you see this being upheld?
Yeah, I think that he is short. I think it's clearly short. You have to piece it together because you actually see from behind when the knee is down at the same time that the hand is down. So you look at it, and then when you see that the hand down there, you know the knee is already down. Even though you don't have a shot down the line to say precisely where it is, to me, if you piece those together, I think he's short.
Yeah, so the right knee for sure. And as Mike said, piece together this shot from this angle is a little bit more difficult, but the left, it looks like the left shin is up, the right knee is down. Put together wherever his right hand was, and we'll find out right now.
The offense.
After review, the runner's knee was down with the ball a half-yard short of the goal line. And it will be 1st and goal.
That guy's going, you know who should get the ball here? It's Kaytron Allen.
What about the fan behind him?
She can't believe it. She didn't piece them together. She didn't have Mike Pereira.
She didn't have the line shot. Yeah. So 18 yards instead of 19 yards. And well, Northwestern made it tough on Penn State at the end of the half, the end of the first half, to cash in at about this distance. And over the top this time. Well, maybe he didn't get there. Yeah, he's short. 2nd down. Allen went plunging over the top, and he was stonewalled.
Big time physical play. Northwestern, their goal line unit, trying to match the 14 personnel, 1 back, 4 tight end unit. They're shifting a couple O-linemen out, bringing in a different tight end. Let's look down the line and play line judge, and he appears short to me. The ball in that left hand, well defended, man.
So back up quickly to the line, and the entire Penn State offense pushing Allard toward the goal line, and still no signal. And he is in for a touchdown. So Drew Aller with the plunge ahead on the push. Now Penn State leads.
So Kaytron Allen will gladly pass up this touchdown. Just the wad of humanity. Got to give center Nick Dawkins credit to get the push going. And 6'5", 235, Drew Aller finishing.
Well, it did look like he was short there on the original surge, but
yeah,
no way to.
It's impossible to.
Yeah. No way to fight through the bodies on review. And Penn State, 2 explosive plays on that drive, setting up the plunge. First, it was Drew Aller on a 3rd and 5. Well protected, well thrown. Devontae Ross off to the races. He got him down there. Kaytron Allen pushed him ahead to the 1. Drew Aller delivers the lead. All smiles because the costume came that way. 21-16 Penn State with the go-ahead for Drew Aller. Tomorrow the ALCS begins on Fox. Cal Raleigh and the Mariners look to steal Game 1 in Toronto against the red-hot Toronto Blue Jays with Vladdy Jr. leading the way. And Game 1 of the ALCS coverage begins tomorrow at 7 Eastern on Fox. Jorge Polanco delivering the walk-off in the 15th inning last night. Seattle was a scene. It's Toronto tomorrow night for Game 1 on Fox. So Northwestern chasing 5 points now. And after the Drew Aller 1-yard touchdown run, Northwestern still in position to pull this thing off after leading a couple of times today.
After that touchback, you can see this crowd try to will this Penn State unit to victory, get this turn. Preston Stone will, the full offense is open here to Zach Lujan. Plenty of time. Got to put one together. Had really an ugly scoring drive the last time out. Lost 14 yards and kicked a field goal.
Yeah, the old 4-play, negative 14 play scoring drive. Gave him the 16.
Got him right where we want him.
Right. Gave him a brief 16-14 lead. Now on the road, Preston Stone through the noise. On first down. And he is on target, but Wilde dropped it. Might have heard some footsteps. Collins was coming.
Collins was coming, and that's like Haley's Comet. That was a dime from Preston Stone on their favorite route, the dig route. Maybe a half tick too late, getting inside that hash too far. And as you said, saw and heard some footsteps coming. Difficult to catch.
Haley's Comet, the drop, right? Yeah, that's what he meant?
Yes.
Yeah, Wilde, the sure-handed favorite target of Preston Stone with a rare one. On second down. Stone given time, nobody open downfield, so it's Hyman for a short gain. And a third down and 8 for Northwestern.
Getting pressure with a 4-man rush is D coordinator Jim Knowles. It'll be interesting what they do here. Usually in this case, he loves to voodoo up his 4-man rush and get somewhat a double team. In this case, it's Griffin Wilde. Take away your best guy. Let's find 17. He's up top in the slot. Preston Stone has to go to work.
And pressure shown, pressure coming.
Man coverage.
He gets it away. It's complete. It is Wilde. UID'd Wilde out of the slot. There he goes. Drive survives.
Filled up the blitz. Played man coverage. Just a slant route with outside leverage. Preston Stone and Wilde will execute.
They beat Woosley inside. And a big third down pickup for Northwestern. Trying to snatch the lead back. Wilde back up in that same spot in the slot. But running with a burst for Joseph Hyman. He's had a good day on the ground. And he's close to a first down. Give him 8.
Yeah, this version of inside zone, Hyman has a great feel for it. They're doing a really nice job up front, getting the double team to the second level. Hyman pressing, bouncing it, pressing it, cutting it back, and getting every ounce. 2nd and 2 right here.
Yeah, Northwestern wanted to get him in space today. They've sliced him between the tackles a couple of times also.
Man coverage here. Single high safety, 8-man front.
And all those big bodies, it almost broke. Ooh, shoestring tackle for Hyman. Even with 8 big guys up there, they still ran it in there.
Repeatedly, they've run to this open side. Sometimes it's been inside zone. This is more of a mid-zone. Hyman sees the cut right here, plants that right foot inside the big booty of Martez Lewis. First down.
We'll enjoy watching that back. Martez Lewis paving the path. Whatever it takes. 1st and 10. Wilde makes the catch. Collins swings him down, but not before another Griffin Wilde first down.
Yeah, it's basically undefendable when you have that timing, the comeback. just a single cut. They brought the pressure from the outside. Davion Collins has to come downhill and ensure that Wilde doesn't break a tackle.
Wilde from FCS South Dakota State wanted to prove that he could play in the Big Ten in an environment like this.
And a quiet crowd.
And he has quieted the crowd in an environment like this. Something he's dreamed of for a long time. He's up at the top side. They run it again. It's Reeder. He is stopped. The edge set. Jalen Harvey got him.
Yeah, Harvey's got to be careful there not to get the Zariah Fisher late hit. Was just a little bit late there. The sideline erupted. It was a close one. The officials just talked to him.
Well, the forward progress was stopped at the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. Flag stayed in pocket. So 2nd and 10 with Como Lafe back in the game as the running back.
12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends. Wilde down here at the bottom, singled.
He's on Collins. Stone looking to that matchup, and he threads it in there in tight space again. And Wilde said, oh yeah, I caught that with you right there.
Yep, had Harris earlier for the corner route touchdown. Convert on the 3rd down right here. Just a great slant route. Reset in a stem. You threaten the vertical. Get a Davion Collins pointed open, hips open, snap it across, and the dime to that downfield armpit from Preston Stone.
Wilde 7 catches for 94 yards plus that 29-yard touchdown. Northwestern on the march looking for the lead. Como Lafe right up the teeth of the Penn State defense. And it depends on the spot, but he's right at the line to get with a 9-yard pickup.
And that'd be just short. And this is another one where if your offensive coordinator, Zach Lujan, you might be able to take 2 shots, knowing you're going to go for it on 4th down, knowing you need a touchdown, setting all this stuff with the great run game.
A drive that's taken over 5 minutes. Here comes a 10th play of the drive. Northwestern threatening a lead again. Back-to-back Como Lafe runs and a 1st down and goal for the Wildcats.
Como Lafe says, I got you. It was just neat to hear from Coach Braun, running back coach Aristotle Thompson, how much Cam Porter has coached these guys up. He's with them every day. Como Lafe, Hyman, Reeder, coaching them up. You know, the guy's hurt, frustrated, 2nd year in a row, out for a long, long time. Says a ton about that young man.
Porter back home. Watching this game today as Como Lafe and Hyman have played well in his place. And it's Como Lafe into that unbalanced look. He breaks free. Touchdown Northwestern. Como Lafe sneaks out of there. Wildcats in front.
It's a beautiful cut by Como Lafe. We talked about this earlier with Hyman. He presses the hole, starts to cut it back, and then represses it front side. Is physical, and they're setting up in 2-point mode to try to extend it to a 3-point lead.
Como Lafe making Cam Porter proud with another big run for a field goal lead for Northwestern. 3 tight ends in there. Como Lafe just scored the touchdown, and he is upended. So 2-point try, no good. Penn State holds there, but not on Como Lafe's 9-yard burst to give the Wildcats, with an upset on their mind, a 1-point lead. Como Lafe, the beast, as they call him on that Northwestern sideline, puts him ahead. David Braun had that look when we met with him last night of a true belief. There was nothing fake about it, that they could win here today, even though they were a 3-touchdown underdog. Hey, here we are.
Total confidence. The Uline family kind of saying their prayers there. But yeah, David Braun and that whole group very confident, very committed to the plan. Make it a little ugly, ground and pound right then. Just took it down the field, did what they had to first, 2nd down, convert on 3rd, and Como Lafe pays it off.
Well, Northwestern has A team projected to win 1 game 2 years ago, won 8, went to the Las Vegas Bowl. They have been against the odds before, like they are today. And here they are up 1 in what was a season-turning moment, it feels like, for Penn State. With this not being called a fumble, the knee ruled down for Noah Whittington.
Knee was down with the ball at the 8-yard line.
And of course, Penn State went on to lose in double overtime. And you felt like you were right there. Yeah, that look on the face of the Nittany Lion fans. They go and lose to UCLA, struggling today in all those what-ifs of if you beat Oregon, how this might be different.
And now Drew Allar has his moment to avenge.
A quick throw out, almost picked. That was almost undercut. Braden Turner came up and made the tackle after Kilbane almost went pick 6.
Kilbane almost had the D lineman dream on the edge there. They do this a ton as basically an exaggerated, run. Ooh.
Tim McGargle, the defensive coordinator for Northwestern, former player for the Wildcats, won here in 2004. He delivered that message to his team last night that they can do the same thing with this group. Defense flying around for him today. Singleton underneath, and there's another rally up in front for Fitzgerald.
So good, man. This guy burst, square, finish, tackles Singleton to the ground. That is a big-time play and a ton of space. If he breaks that tackle, it would have been just like Devontae Ross, but with that long gain before 67.
Okay, here we go. That was a 3rd and 5. This is a 3rd and 4. Similar part of the field.
Zone.
1-point game, clock under 4 minutes.
4-man rush, 3-man rush.
Allar steps in front of Kilbane. He's making a run for it, and he's not going to get there.
Guess who?
Mac Uline, the centerpiece of their defense, brings up 4th down. Well, there is a whistle for Allar, who's down on the field after that hit, holding his leg.
This is an official's timeout for an injury.
This guy wastes no step on the field. Uline, as soon as he realizes where Allar is on the field, that is a clean tackle. Drew Allar is a runner, a physical finish. 3-man rush. Got enough pressure to make him flush in that situation, setting up at minimum here a 4th and 3 with 3:26 and all 3 timeouts here. You'd anticipate them putting it away.
Well, James Franklin out to see his quarterback, Allar. Oh, man.
That's amazing. Just total silence right now. When he broke away, it looked like he had a chance. And
hope Drew Allar's all right. Step out. Well, this is a live shot here. Drew Allar just popped back on his feet, the quarterback for Penn State. Grabbing his lower leg after a tackle from Mac Uline on a 3rd down scramble.
Yeah, it looked like Bastone missed him, tried to kind of rally back to it, but just a square up finish from Mac Uline, man. This is an interesting situation here for Ethan Grunkemeyer.
Ethan Grunkemeyer has not played meaningful snaps as the quarterback at Penn State, with Drew Allar as the starter for 3 years. Now on a 4th and 3, cold off the bench, with Penn State needing to win out if they want any thought of the playoff. With Allar on the sideline, it's Grunkemeyer. On a 4th and 3, he takes off. Grunkemeyer is popped short. Northwestern gets there again. Aiden Hubbard with a 4th down stand.
Just sound defense. Watch him zone it out, make him execute. They drop out the D lineman Hubbard underneath that little mid-range throw for the right at the line to gain, and then he knows Grunkmeyer's answer has to be quarterback run, and they finish the deal again. A form tackle. He is a runner now. It is clean. That's a defensive clinic right there. Big time stop. Story, Hubbard, wow.
Najee Story. They talk about being a developmental place all the time. Story, Hubbard, multi-year guys that have stayed, developed with David Braun. And a massive combo on that tackle. And Northwestern 3 minutes away. Up by 1. It's Komolafe who gave him the lead on his 9-yard touchdown run a few moments ago.
Speed decision time here. Trying to find head coach James Franklin. So they're going to see what happens here after the second down play. Working around the 2-minute warning. If the clock's running here outside of 2 minutes, he would use it, obviously, or just bunch them all together after the 2 minute. It really doesn't matter at this point. The key to it all, he's got to get a stop.
And you wonder, too, can Drew Aller go back on offense if they do get it back and have a chance to go down and win it? And Northwestern does have to snap it before the 2-minute timeout.
Unbalanced here, the tight end and all 3 wideouts.
Sticking with Komolafe. And he ducks ahead for a couple yards. And at the 2-minute timeout, it will be a 3rd down and 3.
This is a 2-minute timeout.
Penn State was a play away from beating Oregon. Went on the road and lost to UCLA. Northwestern trying to make it back-to-back upsets against the Nittany Lions. 2 minutes to go with a 1-point Cats lead. With 2 minutes to go in this game, Drew Aller took a big hit from Mac Uline on a 3rd down. Left the game for a 4th down that Northwestern stopped. And we just got a picture of him headed to the locker room with all the feelings going through him right now. Looks like his night might be finished. The shoe off and headed back up the tunnel.
Feel for that dude.
So a 3rd and 3 for Northwestern's offense. Looking for their 3rd straight win. This would be their most shocking. To the outside, Komolafe squirted out again. He did it on the touchdown. He was stopped up on this 3rd down, and off he went.
Komolafe, again, watch, square, make the initial man miss. Right there in his face was Gilliam, and then just runs through the tackle of 2 Collins. Just enough to convert. Wow.
Penn State didn't take a timeout. Clock running.
Yep. As soon as this play is over, James Franklin will have to use it.
1:30 to go. Northwestern by 1. Komolafe, nothing doing there. And this timeout should come. You heard Northwestern saying ball security, ball security. Komolafe did control it. 2nd down with a timeout. Griffin Wilde, today's smoking player of the game, sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef? Wilde had the 29-yard touchdown that got him started, and several big 3rd down conversions also.
Yeah, just did a great job. This was the comeback route that set up the score from before, the 3rd and medium slant route, run-on-one. This was the boundary slant against Collins. This guy was outstanding, just under 100 yards, and the long was the 29-yarder, and that's with a big-time drop that he had as well. Man, just a big-time answer, and it was everybody, not just that one man, and huge credit to this front.
Out of South Dakota, he fits the David Braun underdog story with Zach Lujan and some coaches that came from the FCS level. From interim to coach of the year in the Big Ten for David Braun 2 years ago. They're now looking for one of his biggest wins of his football life. It's a touchdown for Northwestern if he wants it. Joe Hyman goes down. Hyman down inside the 5 on a 1st and goal.
Northwestern smart. Well done there by Joseph Hyman. James Franklin will definitely use the timeouts now. And at 1:13, this is one of those ones where if Penn State doesn't have the ball, they can't win the game. Just a selfless play right here, right in front of DeJuan Lane. And on the cusp of making history.
So smartly getting down Joseph Hyman after all those big runs for Como Lafe. They change it up with Hyman. And 1:13 to go with just the one timeout for Penn State. A 17-yard hit. And Penn State fans came into the day agitated. They've continued that agitation throughout the afternoon, and Northwestern fans, big reason to smile. This close to their 4th win and their 3rd in a row.
Yeah, minute 13, one timeout. This is where you're a Northwestern fan, you're in the greatest formation in football, and if you're a Penn State fan, it's going to be another tough week.
Stone takes a little extra time and puts the knee down. And Penn State uses their final timeout.
Penn State, their 3rd and final charge timeout. 30-second timeout.
Well, you wonder about the fallout.
Yeah, this is a tough one, and then oh, by the way, your starting quarterback just went off on the cart to add insult to injury, in addition to the noise that will only grow louder and louder. And it's also one of those situations where we got to give credit where credit is due to David Braun and company, that if they can execute the victory mode here on these next 2 snaps, they fly back to Chicago with a huge, well-earned win.
And they felt like a changed team out of their bye week, and Northwestern is a snap away from pulling the upset. Well, it's a every 10 or 11 years tradition, it seems, for Northwestern. 2004, 2014, here in 2025, making their decades visit to Happy Valley, and a snap away from a win once more, just like Tim McGargle in his 2004 Nittany Lions. Now the DC, and that'll do it. 3 touchdown underdogs, and Northwestern comes to Happy Valley and wins 22-21. Well, college football had its eyes on Penn State today. Was it a bad game last week, or is there a deeper concern? That is a deep concern now.
On both sides of that handshake, David Braun has a ton of respect for James Franklin and what he's done here for a long time, but he's also knows what this has done to this program, and just a ton of questions right here.
Well, Penn State needing to be perfect to achieve what was a #2 preseason ranking. A national title or bust this year. Unfinished business after being a play away from the title game. UCLA, Northwestern, back-to-back weeks take out Penn State. And now the questions grow. Well, for Northwestern, 3 wins in a row. Now they're 2 wins away from the postseason at 4-2.
Yeah, don't get lost in all this. Congratulations to Northwestern, as we were talking about before. James Franklin, as we talked about all week, just a ton of noise. It's going to be amplified times 1,000. Total credit to David Braun and company. Big win.
Well, it can change a program either way with the result of this game. 22-21, the final for Northwestern. Can't wait to get the thoughts of the guys in the studio on this one. Northwestern 3 touchdown underdog. Win it 22-21. For Mark Helfrich and our entire crew, I'm Connor Onion, sending you back to Mike Hill in the LA studios.
Oh, you're going to get our thoughts in a second. We got to get you ready for Wisconsin and Iowa first, though. Luke Fickell in his 3rd season at Wisconsin, taking on the longest tenure coach in college football right now, the great Kirk Ferentz. Iowa, Wisconsin coming up momentarily. More Big Ten action coming up as we welcome you to the FS1 College Football Extra, sponsored by Amazon. Everything for every fan on Amazon. We got Coach Chris Petersen, Bruce Feldman, Mike Hill hanging out with you. From now on, they're just going to call the area around Penn State Valley, because ain't nothing happy going on right now in Happy Valley, man. It's one thing to lose to Oregon. Another thing to lose to UCLA, which was a shocker last week, but to come back and have this performance against Northwestern right now, we got to say that Penn State is the most disappointing team in college football this season.
You know, it's that adage of don't let the same team beat you twice. I think it's happened 3 times. They just have not gotten over that Oregon hard-fought loss, good college football game, come back and really don't show up in the first half against UCLA, rally back, but they just seem to not have gotten over. They've digressed. Their offense isn't explosive. The receivers have disappeared. Their defense is just okay. Northwestern controlled the game, hung in there, and they come out with this win. And this is really hard to explain.
You know, you could say it may have started against Oregon, but this team has not looked great all season long, especially on the offensive side of football.
No, you're right. They had some bad opponents. You look at what FIU week 2, FIU's not that good, and they gave them a game, right? And we're looking at them. You have a lot of really good pro prospects who came back for their senior year. You have Jim Knowles. They added the highest paid defenser in the country. You know, you see a team that just does not look like they're engaged. You know, it looked like they slept-walked on the way. You can say it was a cross-country trip. UCLA was 0-4, all that. You come home and you play like that for 4 quarters?
How do you explain that? That's what I'm saying. You lose against UCLA and the whole world is against you right now because UCLA 2 weeks ago looked like the worst team in college football. You get shot on the road. You come back. You not only have to win against Northwestern, but you have to be impressive at home, and then you have this. How do you explain it?
Yeah, I think it has to do with expectations. You know, this team came in with just such tremendous expectations. They expected to, you know, win all their games and compete for a national championship. But, I mean, it goes back to these coaching cliches and these adages. Like, you got to play one at a time. You got to respect all and fear none. I thought that about last week when they played UCLA. We always had this sign in our locker room that said, respect all, fear none. And it was a real sign. Because I've been through it too many times. If you don't respect these people, you're going to get beat. And you got to watch tape when they're playing their best. And Nico Iamaleava, yeah, I mean, he's a 5-star quarterback for a reason. Like, he's got talent. So, and then the same thing with Northwestern. You're thinking, well, it's Northwestern. Well, these guys got pride, and they got good coaches, too, and they got tough kids. And
right now, Northwestern has a better record than Penn State. They're 4-2, so give credit to Northwestern for coming to play.
But like James Franklin, big thing on social media, whoever they're playing, it could be Buffalo. Like, to stay focused in the moment. Like, Katron Allen, I thought, showed up. I don't know about the rest of the guys. Yeah. It's just kind of baffling to watch this team. You can talk about expectations. Just pride. You're at home. You got embarrassed by UCLA. Put Indiana off to the side. We're not talking about whether you have to run the table to get in the playoff.
Playoffs?
Playoffs. But like, where's the pride?
You know, when I talk about expectations, I'm also going to this, like, outside noise and inside noise, the internal voice we have in our head, just self-doubt and all these things, plus all this noise these kids and these fan bases, they got to deal with. And it is overwhelming.
And the noise now is that your team is pretty much out of the playoffs now. I mean, 6 games into the season. I know you still got Ohio State and Indiana on that schedule, but this might be even beating those 2 teams might be too little too late.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't get ahead of yourself like that, because let's just say that they beat those 2 teams. They're back in the picture now. It is one at a time. It is one day at a time, one practice at a time, and one game. But you start thinking like, well, we only got these guys left and they're ranked and we got to beat them. You're going to lose the next game. That, to me, is what's going on.
Even if you beat those 2 teams, that picture is blurry as hell right now for Penn State as they fall 22-21 at home against Northwestern. All right, meanwhile, despite all its recent success, number 7 Indiana still out to prove they truly arrived to some. A win today at 3rd-ranked Oregon, and I think it would be safe to say that destination has been reached, and they're giving Oregon a run for their money. Roman Hemby Himbe power. Getting in and Hoosiers on top 20-13 in the third. Fourth quarter, Fernando Mendoza had been cruising until this. Don't want to do that.
Wow, throwing off his back foot. DB makes a nice play undercutting the pass. Yeah.
Tying the game at 20 right there, Brandon Finney. Remember Austin Stadium, 22-game home winning streak, but Mendoza comes right back down the field, finds his guys, All-American Elijah Surratt.
Elijah Surratt is eating up the Ducks. The other thing that's impressive, Indiana is getting after Dante Moore. He hadn't been sacked one time all year. They've got him 6 times.
They're top 10 in offense and defense. We'll keep you posted on that game. Tough rivalry game here, Oklahoma, Texas. Another disappointing season this year. John Mateer back after hand surgery, and he threw a pick right there. He came in with 3 picks on the year. He had 2 in this game. 6-3 at the half. Third quarter, Arch Manning. Nice throw right there, wide open, DeAndre Moore Jr. Longhorns up 10-6 and trying to add to that fourth quarter. How about we get a little special teams in on this?
About time. Here we go.
Ryan Niblett. 75 yards for the punt return for the touchdown, and look at the horns. Look like they're about to get their 4th win of the season. 23-6 right now. Alabama, Missouri. Alabama's 3rd straight against a ranked team. Missouri had a 15-game home win streak on the line here. Bo Pribula, former Penn State quarterback.
Yeah, I wonder if Penn State fans watch this game and go, man, we could probably use him.
I don't know if it's that bad. On the fake punt here, hey, they're down 3, 4th and 4. Mizzou, fake punt, did not get it. Jamal Roberts out of bounds. They reviewed it. Call upheld. Alabama takes over, and this was the play of the game here. Alabama by 3, 4th and 8. Look at that pass by Ty Simpson to Lazier Brooks.
You give Ty Simpson that much time, he's going to complete that every time.
And then on 4th and goal against Simpson to Daniel Hill, right there, it's 27-17. It's 27-24, under a minute left. Last chance for Missouri here. Pribula's pass picked off by Dijon Lee Jr., and Alabama wins his 5th straight, 27-24. Ohio State, Illinois. Ohio State, best defense in the nation. Saw this one earlier on Big Noon Kickoff. Julian Sand having a great season, finds his running back Bo Jackson out of the backfield, and Bo knows the end zone. Ohio State up 20-0 in this game, and that would be plenty for that defense because they forced 3 turnovers, led to 21 Ohio State points. C.J. Donaldson Jr. gets into the end zone. That made it 27-10, and then Sand is going to find his guy.
Just saying, go to him, Jeremiah Smith, every time, and good things will happen.
Ohio State is 10th straight win, 34-16. Look at the defense here. Once again, you didn't see any defensive highlights in there, but once again, 3 turnovers in this game. And last year's defense was great. This year's defense is even better. With more from Champaign is Rob Stone, the Big Noon Kickoff crew.
Top-ranked Buckeyes improved to 6-0, courtesy of their 8th straight ranked win. Rob Stone, Brady Quinn, Mark Ingram, Matt Leinart. The coach, Urban Meyer, here with you. The Buckeye D finally conceded a red zone touchdown, but other than that, they continue to run at an elite level.
I'm just saying, I picked the score to be, Mark, 35-17. So if you guys want to know scores and odds from now on, just come to me. I'll let you know.
Gotcha,
the defense was fantastic. How about going to a game as an offensive coach and knowing you got to score 3 touchdowns, you're going to win? That's the way I feel about the Ohio State defense.
Yeah, I think the only concern for me is their last 3 games, their rushing attack. They're averaging 130 yards per game. That's 80th in the country in that span. It's just the one area that they have to continue to improve on to get a chance next week against Wisconsin.
I just want to talk about Illinois. Coach, you talked about them. Illinois, they have to come in here and play a perfect brand of football. They did it. They had 3 turnovers that led to 3 touchdowns. Ohio State continued to capitalize on the missed opportunities. That's why they won the game.
And give Illinois some credit. Look, Ohio State only allowed 2 touchdowns the entire season coming in this one. Illinois got a couple. I know we're not into moral victories, but this is still a very good football team. They get a bye week, have to rebound, then go on the road and play Washington. So there's still a lot out there for Illinois this season.
Yeah, Matt, you mentioned next up for the Buckeyes, Wisconsin. Then it's a bye week. Then Penn State in Columbus. So the Buckeyes get another win. And it was an orange out here in Champaign, but let me tell you, there was a lot of scarlet and gray here in Champaign today.
UCLA coming off that win against Penn State. UCLA, no fluke. They're keeping it going, guys.
They are very much keeping it going.
Taking on Michigan State. Penn State, I mean, they dominated Penn State. UCLA looking good. 2-1 since firing head coach Deshaun Foster. 80 combined points over the last 2 games under interim offensive coordinator Jerry Neuheisel right there. 38-13 winners against Michigan State. Pitt, Florida State. What's going wrong with Florida State since that 3-0 start?
Man, they feel like they have been reeling the last couple weeks. Battled back from a big hole against Miami. We're up in this game, and credit to Indiana, credit to Pitt, their new starting quarterback played really well.
Yeah, Tyrion Turner right there, 3-yard touchdown right there, and that is your game winner as Pitt goes to 4-2, dropping Florida State to 3-3. Ole Miss had a battle against Washington State, only up 17-14 here.
The Cougs showed up to play. Ole Miss was sleepwalking, certainly in the first half.
But still, the number 4 team in the land gets it done 24-21. Tennessee's got Alabama next week taking on Arkansas. And there's Bobby Petrino. Rev up them engines, baby. Taylen Green. Nice first half of him.
Yeah, his engine's always revving. One of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the country.
Arkansas up 7-0. Fist bumps all around. Then Joey Aguilar, though, finds Miles Kisselman. 8-yard touchdown. Tying the game. Moments ago. Peyton Lewis. You know, they love a guy named Peyton in Tennessee. Finds the end zone right there, and the ball's on top. 26-17, that game in the third. Mark Gronowski got hurt in the last game. What were you hearing about him in this game?
Yeah, got the big knee brace on. Looks like he's going to go. I mean, I think his toughness it kind of epitomizes that program. I don't think you expect a lot of fireworks from the offense, but we'll see what you get.
See what Iowa, Wisconsin does momentarily coming up. You see these two programs. Look at that. Pretty much similar in wins, head-to-head, and points per game pretty much there. That's not where the similarities end right there. What do you like about both of these programs?
I think they are the same program. They're about defense, they're about special teams. They always have a great running back. They know their identity. I just think one program was smart enough to hang on to their head coach for a long time. Coach Ferenc, going to be a Hall of Fame coach, knows how to win. Complimentary football. They don't beat themselves. They're the least penalized team in the country. Nothing against Luke Fickell. I just always wondered why Wisconsin never got rid of Paul Chryst.
Yeah, the other thing was going to the air raid offense. I bet Luke Fickell wasn't, if he had to do all that over again, he probably wouldn't. One other thing that I think bonds these two programs, they're really good at evaluation and development. You see so many guys who might have been 2-star guys out of high school, and they end up in the NFL. And I think that's a credit to the weight room and the evaluation of what they do.
All right, see what happens in this meeting. Iowa's won the last 3 in the head-to-head. Let's get you over to the guys calling the game. Eric Collins and Spencer Tillman. We'll see you back here at the half.
Nightfall in Madison, Wisconsin, Madtown.